Time coming up in my younger days, people was honest, but there's not such a thing, Neil, as honesty this day and time. Now, I can name you a couple of people that's honest. There'd be a couple. But anyway, back when I was growing up, if a man borrowed, say 50 cents off of you, but which was big money, or a dollar, that's big money, dollar. If you loaned a man a dollar back in my days, back in my heydays, that was a lot of money. All right, that man told you he'd pay you back on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. You could watch your watch. At 10 o'clock on Saturday morning, by God, he'd be there to pay you. And if he couldn't pay you, he'd be out at 10 o'clock anyway. And he'd tell you, look here, I've had the hard luck, whatever. I can't pay you. Well, that's fine. But nowadays, you loan a son of a bitch $5, you're fucked. And that's just it. How many of them, I mean, this world went to hell in a handbasket. I'm telling it like it is. Now, there's a few people in my life that I trust. When they tell you they'll do something, they will. They owe you money, they'll pay you. But goddamn, I can haul what few of them they are in a Volkswagen and it won't be crowded.
Lord have mercy. I'm telling you, haul all of them in a Volkswagen. It won't be crowded. I've been noticing that a lot nowadays, that most people don't trust each other. You know, it's hard to try and find somebody you can trust. I mean, the hell, the only one I really trust is myself. Very few, very, very few that I would trust with my life. But this is what I got to say about it.
Perhaps one of the most interesting words in the English language today is the word fuck. Out of all of the English words that begin with the letter F, fuck is the only word that is referred to as the F word. It's the one magical word. Just by its sound can describe pain, pleasure, hate, and love. Fuck, as most words in the English language, is derived from German, the word flicken, which means to strike. In English, fuck falls into many grammatical categories. As a transitive verb, for instance, John fucked Shirley. As an intransitive verb, Shirley fucks. Its meaning's not always sexual. It can be used as an adjective, such as, John's doing all the fucking work. As part of an adverb, Shirley talks too fucking much. As an adverb enhancing an adjective, Shirley is fucking beautiful. As a noun, I don't give a fuck. As part of a word, abso-fucking-lutely, or in-fucking-credible. And as almost every word in a sentence, fuck the fucking fuckers. As you must realize, there aren't too many words with the versatility of fuck, as in these examples describing situations such as fraud, I got fucked at the used car lot. Dismay, oh fuck it. Trouble, I guess I'm really fucked now. Aggression, don't fuck with me, buddy. Difficulty, I don't understand this fucking question. Inquiry, who the fuck was that? Dissatisfaction. Objection. I don't like what the fuck is going on here. Incompetence. He's a fuck off. Dismissal. Why don't you go outside and play hide and go fuck yourself? I'm sure you can think of many more examples. With all of these multi-purpose applications, how can anyone be offended when you use the word? We say, use this unique, flexible word more often in your daily speech. It will identify the quality of your character immediately. Say it loudly and proudly. Fuck you.
Yeah, the power of not giving a fuck. That's morning time, Michelle and Huckleberry. Morning time, morning time. Well, actually, yeah, it's still morning time over there, Michelle. So, yeah. But, yeah, I'm having a moment, and I have some stuff that I was just thought I'd put out there. I found some funny stuff. You know, I've been ever since this Oliver Anthony came out with this Richmond, North of Richmond song. I've been kind of looking into a lot of stuff when it comes down to his songs, and then I had like a marathon basically when it comes down to watching a lot of these reaction videos. And there's also people out there making remixes of this song. It's pretty crazy how this is kind of spurred. I haven't seen a whole lot of other music out there or songs that actually inspired so many people from all over the world. But I do have one that I want to play for you guys because I thought it was funny. Maybe you guys can get a chuckle out of it. I don't know.
Guys been dressing like trolls, working all day, more than outpowered. The girls in the race, so if I hear you clear and get what you say, morals are gone and this is more than just gay. It's a trans thing. That's a all calling moves for men to be girls and girls to be dudes. We say we're just tough and it's nice to be smooth, but it's rich. Oh, it's rich, living in the Jews world with a girl's soul. The trans man on the beer can sure makes us all just wanna have the corona soul. Wanna paint your nails pink, wanna wear high heels too, and I don't think we know, but we know that you're due, 'cause you're taller and shit, and your masculine chin. Oh, the trans man on the beer can. A wisp position to look out for minors and not let minors choose their own damn health care. Lord, we got folks on TV who do nothing but scream, and old Jenner said that ain't fair. Well, God, if you buy titties and you dress it down, the masses ought not to have all you and gals. These men are turning their junk inside out, and all the damn public does is keep on calling them proud. Lord, it's a trans thing that they all call them. It's men to be girls, it's girls to be dudes. This days are just tough, and then it's nice to be smooth, but it's rich. Oh, it's rich, living in the Jews world with a girl's soul. The trans man on the beer can sure makes us all just wanna have Corona or snow. Wanna paint your nails pink, wanna wear high heels too, and you don't think we know, but we know that you're dudes, 'cause you're taller and shit with your masculine chin. Oh, the trans man on the beer can. guys been dressing like trolls, working all day, more than outpowered the girls in the race. Got you, man. I'm just fucking around, y'all.
I thought that was funny. But yeah, I can't really deny what he was saying either. Arkash, you people, it is awesome to see you guys this morning. You know, people up here, let's say at 3:36 local time here in Florida. I just watched the last Terminator movie, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go live. And well, there I am. I'm live, and I had a couple of things. What was it? Those are the only things that I had. Oh no, this is an interesting thing. I don't know, something that could be talked about. I don't know, but I know you probably have heard this or seen this video or whatever. But it made me think about certain things. You know, I'm just curious. You know.
I have a seventh grader from Salinas who claims to have made a major discovery about President Obama. She and her grandfather say that President Obama is related to all but one U.S. president. We get more tonight from Action News reporter Felix Cortez, who's live in our Salinas newsroom.
Well, Dan, the youngster spent the summer, really all summer, tracing the family tree of our presidents. Her conclusion that all the presidents, with the exception of one, share the same grandfather.
It's interesting.
Well, first we start off with George Washington at the top, and then it goes to John Adams, Thomas Jefferson.
11-year-old Bridget Davigno says she's made a first-of-its-kind discovery that President Obama and all the presidents before him, with the exception of one, are related and descendants of a former king of England.
No, they are all cousins,
Oh, I
and they're grandsons of John Lackland.
Davigno says she spent countless hours on the internet over the summer researching the lineage of our presidents, a project that started with her trying to trace her own family tree.
But I'm the first historian to do all the presidents. I'm very glad I got this done, and I think it will turn out to be a success.
The Monte Vista Christian 7th grader has written President Obama to tell him the presidents before him are his cousins. She hopes to present this family tree chart personally to the president. But Bridget has her skeptics, including this reporter. Her biggest supporter and firm believer that Obama is a descendant of a former king of England is no doubt her mother.
If you have a child, and they 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 have a child, all she's saying is this guy is the great, 25th, 27th, depending on what line it is. He created all this family. So do I believe it? Yes. It's hard, but it's true.
Well, Mom said it. Hard to believe, but you got to give the little girl an A+ for at least trying to do that and trying to accomplish that feat. And by the way, Bridget has concluded she's the 11th cousin of President Obama. Dan,
All right, very good. Thank you, Felix. So who is the one that President Barack Obama is not related to, according to the seventh grader? Martin Van Buren, 8th President of the United States, first U.S. president born in the U.S. Van Buren was a widowed farmer and tavern keeper from New York who helped form the Democratic Party, served one term as president. His ancestry is Dutch, and according to the Salinas 7th grader, all of the other presidents are of English ancestry.
Now, see that to me, I'm just like, okay, they talk about this as an election and all that stuff. No, it's a selection. This is all trying to implement the bloodline into this corporation calling itself a government. And this is, I think, when people really wake up and see the truth, that's where this like whole fuck it type shit goes on. Because I mean, seriously, it's all a lie. It's all done to. Well, the royals. The royals are to blame. I'm not saying the English people. I wouldn't say the English people. I would just say the royals. The royals, the ones that claim to be the master of all of us. You know, the ones that sit back and live fat and happy while the rest of us are struggling, and they create all the problems. And see, this is the thing. I think it was back in 1819 is when everything went to shit here in this country. When it comes down to this idea of master-slave shit infiltrated into the form of government. And this is the reason why we're at where we're at now. I mean, you can even see it like just like how cops, the mentality of this power that they're given. You know, if I don't have the power to go over to anyone and hold them at gunpoint and put them in handcuffs, put them in a damn vehicle, and then put them in a cage somewhere until I deem when it's, I can let them go or whatever. If I can't do that, who gives them the power to do that? All right. Who, if I can't do it, why can they? I mean, is government, people in government have more rights than the rest of us? See, that's bullshit, man. All these elite, all these people in governments around the world, all of them actually, are the problem. So the idea, the religion of government is the problem. It has done nothing positive for any of the people through history. If you can go as far back as you want into history, all governments through history have done nothing good for the people. It's done nothing but exploit them, steal from them, kill them through history. Well, you people, I mean, that's why I call all government and even cops and all that stuff, they're sovereign citizens, man. Technically, they're citizens, which is the legal definition is property of the government. They're citizens that are working under a sovereign authority. Technically, we the people are the sovereign. Each of us are born sovereign. It doesn't really matter what country you were born in, but you're born sovereign because that's what the Creator endowed you with. All right, and the men on this, the people, whatever you want to say, only man creates all this stupid shit, like rules, regulations, all this other stuff, and imposes it by wielding a stick. See, a lot of people want to believe this idea. There's this lie that they try to propagate here in America, that we live under a rule of law, which is bullshit. It's not how it is. We live under the rule of whoever's got the biggest stick and willing to kill you with it is the master. That's what we live under. Yeah. See, natural law, God's law, or whatever if you want to call it, I call it the Creator. The Creator's law is what we're supposed to be living under in this country, at least at the minimum. Because honestly, man, if all this fascist, socialist, communist, Marxist shit in all its forms keeps on infiltrating in every facet of this fucking planet, if it completely envelops us here in America, there's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere else to go. So it's up to us. It's we the people here in this planet. I mean, it's not just in this country, it's this whole damn planet. I mean, dude, I mean, I just think about, like, for instance, homeless people. I mean, there's so much abandoned property and housing all over this fucking planet. Yet there's so many homeless people. You know, it's like in that song, and also Tupac said, it's like we can fund a war, but we can't feed the poor. You know what I mean? It's just like we can go out there and spend billions of dollars to just sit there and kill each other in another country and stuff, but we can't help our own. You know, it's kind of like this stuff over there in Hawaii, you know, or Maui. I mean, you know, we can help all this stuff over in freaking Ukraine and all that shit, but we can't help the people down here in our own country. Hell, I was watching a video of some people that are leaking videos out from China, and the amount of homeless in China, in the biggest cities, in Shanghai and all that stuff, big, you know, these high dollar type places, and the Chinese government try to hide that fact from the public and getting it out rigorously. You know, the homeless people there are shuffled around every day because it's technically illegal to be homeless. So, and I mean, that's just one country, you know, China. I mean, there's so many people all over this world that are homeless and struggling, and the ones that really desperately need the help don't have it because it's all being spent on fucking bankers' wars. Bankers' wars is what's going on. It's all over the place, Sass. It's all over the place, man. Yep. Jason, what's going on? Good morning. Well, man, I guess I picked a good time to come on, man, because I mean, honestly, this is the most I've seen in a while coming on at so soon. So maybe I'm getting here in America and across the pond, you know, all the night owls and the morning people. Morning. I don't know. Well, morning time.
Morning. Hey, Wingnut.
How are you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning. Yes, fine, thanks. Just chilling out watching the stream.
Well, roger that. I mean, you know, like I said, I just got done watching a movie, so I was like, well, you know what? I've got some things I want to throw out there. I'll just pop it up and see who pops in, you know?
Hey, that's good, man. You got all the good guys in.
Yeah. I mean, this is where the cool kids hang out, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Sunday today, so you'll be off work today, are you?
Yeah, I'm not going. Well, the only thing I got to do today is my mom's coming over here, and I want to. She's got a project she wants me to help her with. That's about the only thing I got to do. Yeah, but
cool.
Yeah, I'm not even bothering going to sleep. I'm just gonna stay up. I'm drinking coffee and
yeah, coffee and Red Bull.
Jason.
Yo.
Hey, Jasons.
Hi, mate. You all right?
Yeah,
Hey.
I'm very good, thanks. Are you?
Yeah, good, man. Good as gold. Always gold.
Yeah. All good.
Yes. Snarks, man. Yeah, I'm Sass. Sass, you are one of the cool kids, man. One of the cool kids are. That's where all the cool kids are. You know?
Yeah. Is that Sasquatch you're on about?
Snarks and Sass.
Oh yeah, so yeah. Oh hi, yeah. Yeah, man. Any of you guys ever heard of the railgun?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, why has no one ever told me about this before? It shoots over 100 friggin' mile.
Actually, they've been working on that technology since probably before the 80s. If you want to know
Yeah,
the
I mean,
truth.
I've been spending a lot of my time just reading about. I mean, I don't know the like electromagnifying fucking bullets that gives them the velocity to go that far.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of them on different aircraft carriers now too, or at least on a couple of them anyway. There's a
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinated us.
they can use them for bunker buster type stuff too, because they'll go through. I mean, they use it for like that kinetic energy. Is basically instead of it uses that a magnetic rail type stuff to kind of propel that object out, and so there's no explosion like a gunpowder type of thing. So it's all just.
No. Well, have you ever made a magnet gun?
No, I haven't made one, but I've seen other people that have made them and using like ball bearings.
Yeah,
to shoot.
I made one years ago with the neonicotinium magnets. But it's about 20. So I put them in a row of 10 on either side of on the inside of like a plank of wood, and just put a ball bearing at one end and let go, and it just fucking went straight through the door in the kitchen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the stuff that's out there. I mean, seriously, when I started researching different types of weapons, I mean, if you actually start researching the companies that actually develop these weapons.
Oh yes.
And what they're like, you go off, you start looking at like some of the weapons shows. They go show off all their stuff, that new stuff that they got. Mostly directed toward the military instead of civilian world, but some of the stuff that they're coming up with, man, is craziness.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, and that's just not like they got this. There's another one, man. Instead of like lead for bullets, they have this one is steel bullets. It's another type of ammunition. And they're trying to actually, that's another thing here in America. They're trying to stifle the ammunition process here in America for the civilian world. All the ammunition that's being produced right now is actually being made for NATO rounds and being shipped out. And all the producers here in America are only doing military stuff. So no civilian rounds are being actually produced. And so what we see on the shelf right now is what we got, because there's nothing coming back.
Well, to be honest, that's the easiest way to disarm you, isn't it? They don't have to.
Well, yeah, because I mean, the gun becomes useless if there's no ammunition.
What? Wait, why aren't there no magnetic trains? Why don't they use that tech yet?
There is monorails are kind of
yeah.
I mean, years ago they had magnetic furniture. Have you seen that, where it sort of just hovers because it's sort of attached to a magnet? Have you seen that before? That was years and years ago.
No, but I've seen like flying machines that are just built with the electro parts, and anything, if you put a charge onto it, it can become weightless, or with vibration frequencies, things can become less weightless. So I mean, with the technology that we're using now, it's very outdated.
Have you ever seen sand on a speaker? Have you ever seen that effect? Yeah.
That's I think that's called cymatics. I think that's
like that.
Yeah, because sound actually makes shapes. You know what I mean? It creates a vibration and a shape.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. It's like everything has a vibration. Everything has a frequency or modulation or whatever you want to call it.
Key to the universe.
I'm sorry. What was that?
I said it's the key to the universe.
Well, yeah, and that's one of the things that they the powers that should not be try to keep us away from that harmonic that we to keep us connected to the Creator and everything. That's why, like for instance, like even the electric is at 60 hertz, which it shouldn't be, in my opinion. Same thing with like all the different wavelengths that they're using for cell networks.
Yeah.
It used to be with 4G and everything from 4G and before,
Yeah.
just four, generation.
Wingnut, you got to remember, he's thinking in one dimension. We're thinking multiverse. He's thinking one verse. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, come on, Jason. I was just about to apologise to you there. I just
Oh,
don't want to go too soon.
Okay.
No, I don't know if you were watching Spunkfishers last night, but I got ganged up on.
Did you?
Yeah, Ultra and AJ Smith. Well, Ultra was on there, and I was like I said to you, like, come on, don't beat him up all the time. And I can't send the same thing to him. And then AJ
do you think
Smith,
there is multiverse, for instance, how they say, like when it comes down to like string theory and quantum theory?
Yeah, I think there could possibly. I mean, it's just a theory, isn't it? But there could be lots of universes floating about and bumping into each other and causes sort of like white waters and shit. Could be.
Yeah. So we're gonna have like whitewater rafters.
Well, you get these freak waves,
Yeah.
Possible.
I mean, like in another universe or another timeline or whatever, you probably like girls, don't you? Like
American joke because it's very, very dry.
Let's not go down there. But to be honest, I think it's been a little bit shit. But like I've tried to not take sides, but just try and be a bit of a peacekeeper because I can get involved quite easily. But we don't need to be in this position. And last night I realised I've been trying to not white knighting Ultra, but not having his back, but trying to be not a peacekeeper, but just come on, guys. But last night he was like, he just fucking turned out like a snake.
I'll tell you this.
I've had all these emails. I was like, well, fucking hell, why didn't you say something beforehand? I was sticking up for you yesterday.
I tell you, all this this YouTube crap really it doesn't get us anywhere. Honestly, when it comes down to the powers that should not be, they don't sleep and they're continually working behind the scenes to fuck us all over. So all this bullshit on the YouTube really doesn't mean shit. It really doesn't. All right. I mean, honestly, we need to be actually, communicating and talking about what really matters and what's really affecting all of us. It affects all of us. You know what I'm saying? See, all that stuff actually is a distraction, Ash. It's a distraction. It's to keep you just sitting there, bickering amongst ourselves about bullshit while they're working tirelessly against us. You know what I'm saying? They don't stop. They're not going to stop until they are put down like a damn rabid dog. I mean, that's the truth.
I've seen the same beef in the same arguments for years.
Rice and Peas.
Now. Hey, Rice and Peas and Gina and Sharon and Stephen and Michelle.
Yeah. You people, man, it's been a while since I have talked to you. How are you doing?
What's going on?
Yeah, I'm good.
How are you all doing?
Good to see you people.
Yeah.
People of planet Earth.
Just so you're not watching the screen, there's a guy called You People just joined.
Yeah, I can see the screen.
All right.
Yeah, I can see the screen. I'm just saying we're all from Earth, aren't we?
Everybody gets a kick out of my name. One of the reasons why I chose it.
So that's Alan Partridge phrase. That is you people.
Well, actually, it's one of the common sayings when I'm watching police or I'm watching anybody else's cop watches. They always refer to us as you people. You people need to back off. Or, I was going to start the channel right here, but because they're always like, "What's your name?" It's right here. I was gonna start right here, but I was like, I want a catchy name. I want something that people are gonna remember, like You People.
I need to get a name badge that says right here.
Right. You know what? I actually have one of those. You go to Spirit Halloween, and you look in their little section, and they have these little like fake ID type things, and one of them is they come with three of them. Right, and one says, "Hello, my name is," and I put right here, and I put that on me, and then on the other side, it's got a press pass because they always ask us for our press pass. So I flip it over, and it says press pass, you people. So I like
Nice.
messing with the cops a little bit.
Yeah, that's just a little play on words as well, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Good one.
Yeah, it's a little different, dealing with the cops here in America than it is over in UK, for instance.
Depends where you are in the UK. It depends
Yeah.
where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some places are a lot worse than others,
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about getting shot.
Well, yeah, true. But then saying that, they've all got guns now, so.
But they're so polite. Like compared to our cops, like for real, like the UK cops like have us beat on politeness.
Well, there is more talking that does happen because I mean, cops here in America, at least, I mean, they're so ready to put hands on you as fast as they can. You know?
Yeah, this is it. What if they stop you or whatever? They want to put something on you, but these days over here, it doesn't happen as much because you just whip out your phone and go, "Well, you what?" But the American police, I guess, are. So
I mean, it all depends what state you're in. Some states you can open carry, and that becomes a whole different audit.
Texas, you can drive a vehicle, drink a beer, and shoot a gun at the same time. So, but if you rob a bank, you're fucked.
Well, Does any of you guys ever heard of or watch Two Apri?
Yes, Michelle, I have. Yes,
He's quite hilarious.
Yeah, I laugh at him all day long when I watch that guy. He's called Two Apri.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I think the recent one I caught him, he was dressed up like a robot.
Yes, I saw that one.
Yeah, it's claiming that he's AI and shit. Oh, it was hilarious. Oh,
I know, I saw that shit.
Alternative idiot.
And he's doing it on purpose. Like he had. I mean, if you watch this guy, he's got a different like alter ego every time he goes out. One of them I saw, he was like butterfly guy.
Yeah,
he was wearing these little butterfly wings, and he was talking in a high pitched voice, like, "Why are you
silence
with butterfly
of the lamb?" Have you been asleep? Oh, Cash, have you been asleep?
No, not for 2 days.
Michelle's asking. I ain't been asleep either. No.
Yeah, I don't know if you're watching the chat, but I did reply.
I'm not. I haven't even gone to bed yet either myself, and I was just like, I know my mom's going to be here at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, well, I might as well just stay up. So.
Yeah, I had a bit of insomnia, and I was working on something for my show, so I was like, well, I saw you pop live. I was like, ooh, I haven't seen Anarchy live in a while. I'll get up here and check it out for a bit.
I've actually been putting it off for a while, man, here and there. I mean, I did that reaction video of Oliver Anthony, and that was like the first one I've done in months, and I don't know. I was going to do another one on some other songs and stuff like that and have like a conversation on it, kind of like a reaction conversation type video or whatever.
Right.
Because I'm going to tell you, some of this stuff that like he sung about, and then it's kind of like those taboo subjects that people just try not to talk about because it's like, oh, don't talk about, you work all the time, you're just complaining, blah, 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 but it's not really like that. It's like, I mean, everybody's going through a hard time when it comes down to the cost of living, when it comes, I'm serious, the cost of living is way higher than it should, that it needs to be. I mean, who can really afford $1,000 or more a month rent every month? You know what I mean?
I can't even afford to sleep. Come on.
Yeah,
I mean,
he pays for Wi-Fi and he has to use it 24 hours a day so he gets his money's worth.
Exactly. I've got to get every fucking penny's worth.
Right.
Well, the thing is that they're making everything expensive, so we become poor faster, aren't we? We're using all of our resources, all of our money. We've got to spend it all pretty quick.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's what I was saying. Is like the whole the system that's put in place right now is actually put in place to work against us. You
Yeah.
know, to keep us struggling while they're living, fat, high on the hog. You know, um, man, this is just how I feel about it, though. I mean, I don't like it living in my time now. I just imagine the next 20 years, if it continues in this direction, where we're going to be, and what our future is going to be like. Not necessarily mine. I might not live that long, but my generations to come. I don't want them to live in that type of a world. And I mean, and it's unfortunate though. My granddad, my great granddad, and all that, I don't know. It's kind of like kicking the can for the next generation to deal with. I don't think we should do that this time.
Well,
What do you think we should do?
Well, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? What do we do? I mean,
should we paint it white?
well, no. What I'm thinking is basically use the same tactics they're using against us, and use it against them. Use the same exact tactics. Everything from propaganda, everything to like infiltrating everything, everywhere, and everything, like news, government, education, whatever. Infiltrate that, and then infiltrate everybody's minds and spread that freedom that everybody really deeply wants and needs. Because I mean, honestly, we're not put on this earth just to pay fucking taxes so these rich fuckers can just live happy.
Oh, you didn't know that? We are. That's the thing.
No, we're not.
We've got to pay all these taxes on this free land.
Yeah. Pay for that water.
I don't know about you, Anarchy, but I've been trying to do that with Aguilar out here. I mean, I've been trying to get the marshal position.
I catch you guys' videos.
Yeah, man, like I'm trying to get into the law enforcement over there so that way I could change things. Like you got to infiltrate it from the inside and take it down from the inside. They don't want me to have the job though.
Well, that's what they've done already. They've done it. So why not do the same thing? If even propaganda, we can use propaganda for good. We can use that to actually spread that idea of freedom, that whole, and morals and all that other stuff. You can, make morals cool again. It's unfortunate though that even earlier I mentioned this in the stream earlier. It's like because old Popcorn happened to say it best. It's like you really can't trust hardly anybody anymore. It seems like it's just like honesty and integrity and honor. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like they're trying to push that out like it doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Bring that back in.
No. It exists in their little mind. I mean, do you guys agree in your guys' police force that, in their mind, that's what they believe?
Yeah, honor, integrity, honesty.
Right? They believe they're doing that, but are they doing that?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it here in America. I mean, I've known a lot of cops too. I've got family that are cops. They don't really. A lot of the ones that I've talked to that are in my family, they didn't realize what was going on until after they were out of, being a cop, after they've retired or whatever. Then they see it. It's kind of like some of the guys that I've met that are in the military. After they get out of the military, they realize, what the fuck was I doing?
Well, sometimes you've got to maybe just cut yourself or lose a part of your body to realize that you're doing wrong.
Right.
That's what, and that's another thing too. It's like this mass hypnosis, this mass Stockholm syndrome that we have around the world. We're
We got to drop. He's dipped out. I think that's a government tactic. You've been done by your own government.
The islands.
That happens to him a lot.
Yeah. I reckon a major CB call comes in or something. I don't know. Got my suspicions.
I don't know. I mean, he's in a pretty weird place too. Like, the internet just jumps in and out on him a couple of times.
Yeah,
When you
late
say in
nights.
a weird place, you don't mean like an asylum, like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Right?
No, he's in a
Shit
bunker.
show.
He's in a fucking bug out bunker.
Yeah.
What's up, shit
Fallout
show?
shelter.
He'll be back up in a minute. Wingnut's having some technical difficulties right now. Sharon back there said it pretty good as far as let's go back to her comment. I mean, I can't highlight her comment, but
Well,
she
Sharon's
says that they put the most corrupt of them on top as
Of
far
course,
as the
and-
police force is concerned. So I don't know. I don't know about your guys' experiences out there, man, but I'm making
just
headway
look at
in
Boris
Colorado.
Johnson. Like, we're stuck with that. Well, we were. You know what I mean?
Well, it doesn't matter about who's in charge. They're just the puppets. There's always a puppet master. They're all on a stage. We all watching. It's a big puppet show. I'm still waiting for the lady to hit the man over the head and for a crocodile to come in and the policeman to chase everybody down the street.
The sausages and the sausages.
Yeah, Punch and Judy, you get it.
Yeah.
Like a Benny Hill skit.
Yeah, exactly that.
That's the way to do it.
I've got one of those. I've got one of those where an officer, we were like literally just walking around a parking lot. Like this officer just kept coming around, fucking with us, wouldn't talk to us, just kept driving around us. So I sped it all up and I put it to the theme of Benny Hill. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But we get those kind of interactions. Like I said, I mean, I've watched a bunch of auditors out there, and I mean, you guys, your guys' police force, I swear to God, is so polite. It's not.
Yeah, I
even
know.
funny.
They're a bunch of fucking pussies compared to your guys. I'm just watching auditor the other day who got shot. They shot him.
What?
Yeah, somewhere I'm sure it was either the States or Australia, but they just shot the guy. And he was like, "Come on, man." And he was like, "Well, I told you to get on the floor and put your hands above your head."
Oh, wow.
I mean, I think they just shot him in the leg or somewhere, and he survived. But still, I've always thought you guys have got balls.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Doing them
especially
audits.
if like you're like out in like Phoenix, Mesa area, there's a lot of crazy cops out there. Now I moved up here into Colorado, and Southern Colorado, like seriously, the stories that I've been hearing coming out of these places, like the like literally, there's stories of police making people just disappear.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
So-
know people in Colorado. They say it's all right, but Locke and that's from Colorado. And that.
Yeah, Colorado's all right. I mean, it's not too bad. We're working on them, you know, as far as like, you know, filming and whatnot and so forth. I gotta say, after Pueblo got hit with their lawsuit from another auditor out here, they've been pretty well. I haven't had any issues with the police out here in Pueblo. Los Animas, though, that's a whole other issue. You got cops out there that are tasing people 35 times for no reason, and then when they're off duty, they're getting into fistfights with 15-year-olds. I mean, just crazy stuff going on out here.
Yeah, the 15-year-olds can be dangerous.
Anyone can be dangerous. isn't it?
Anyone could be dangerous.
Oh,
but
yeah.
But when you have that officer literally run up behind a 15-year-old on a motorcycle or a dirt bike in his car, like literally he rolled up doing like 40 miles an hour, slammed on his brakes behind this kid, got out of his car, and then just started getting into a fist fight with him because the kid passed him. That's it.
Was his name Peter Pope?
Hey, no, do you guys remember that story over there or across the pond over there in y'all's area about that kid that was on a electric bike and the cops ended up killing that kid? Remember that
was in
story?
Wales.
Yeah. I remember you asking me about it. Someone asked me about it. What
I don't
did
know.
I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Nothing
it's similar, you know. It's like that violence is actually spreading, and because it wasn't. I mean, I know it was always kind of violent between the people and the cops over there. You know, I've always wondered, it's like, has it gotten worse now that there's cameras everywhere? You know.
I think it's funny that, you know, they take more offense to the camera now, and pretty much the majority of them are supposed to have body cameras on them at all times. And
Yeah.
the fact that they've got 50 million cameras all over their stations and all over their cars and everywhere, I don't understand where my camera makes a difference.
Big up the sniffers.
Well,
all of them.
because it becomes your evidence that they can't control. That's where it becomes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and that's the thing. It's like a lot of these cases where the cops end up getting busted or whatever, and they end up putting them in, or charging them or whatever, and maybe even putting them in prison. A lot of that is because of video footage that they got out that they couldn't control and stop people from seeing, and it became public, and they were like, oh shit, now we got to do something because everybody knows about it. You know what I mean?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, if they can keep it hush hush and
Yeah,
under the table where nobody knew about it, they would do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's Aguilar to a T right there, man. I mean, you followed it for a little bit. I don't know about these gentlemen know about it, but it's a town about 500 people, and they've been having water issues for over 20 years. There has been no accountability, no budget, no audit done on that town since 2018. It's all been kept hush hush until me and a buddy rolled in there and started covering it for the past year. And I mean, it's starting to hit the main news and everything like that. So we're starting to make traction, and they're pulling their hair out. It's awesome.
It's awesome. I love it. Watching it just fall apart. You know what I mean? Honestly, because this system needs to be, in my opinion, it just needs to be revamped altogether because there's too much rot in there, and you got to pull that rot out of the garden, or it's never going to survive.
Well,
You know what I mean?
here's the thing, Wingnut, is we're doing it all by the book. We're doing it by the law. We're using the law against them, and they're getting more and more pissed off. And like I said, Los Animas is finally starting to come around because that's who they use. And now they're starting to go, okay, well, you're not getting us in trouble with you people in Good Citizen anymore. Not happening. You're not getting us in trouble with this. We're going to start following the law. And we're looking at trying to get the administration on official misconduct. Out here, it's a misdemeanor. But
Not a felony.
well, no, it's not a felony. Out here, it's a misdemeanor. But we are working on felonies. I mean, this woman ended up talking to a person that we know here on YouTube and contracted a hit through this person because
Wow.
the administrator thought that this person didn't like us. So, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and of course the authorities don't want to hear what we have because we didn't have the actual audio recordings. The other person did. So we're working through other means of getting them on stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's gotten to that point. It's pretty crazy.
The only thing is that you people, when it comes down to it, is there's a major conflict of interest because the judges, the prosecutors, the cops, they all get paid by the same company.
Well,
You
right,
know.
but that's when we get charges, if we can get charges put up. In fact, we've been talking with the DA, and the DA really likes what we're doing.
Mhm.
They don't like what the fuck has been going on, so they themselves can't do anything until somebody brings the charges to them. So we're working on it, man. Like, we've got
Right on.
connections inside in separate places. Like I said, man, we've been working on this for a year. We've got so much on them at this point. It's kind of hard. I mean, hell, me and Good Citizen alone have at least 5 1983s against them. I mean, we
See, that's the thing too, is actually getting convictions of the 1983s, maybe some 241 and 242s. You know what I'm saying? If we can
Well-
get convictions, that's another thing. Is charging them is one thing, but
Can we
Well,
have some translation on your numbers? What
a 1983 is a civil rights violation. So,
okay.
like telling us not to record inside
Yeah,
town hall or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah. And what's the other one?
Right. So we have that. I mean, we have cases, right? And there is no statute of limitations on a 1983. The problem is finding a civil rights lawyer to actually take the case and
Yeah.
run with it.
Right.
Because really, in the end, they only take cases that are pretty much slam dunk. Not that these aren't slam dunk, but it's still hard to get a civil rights lawyer to take the case. I mean, there's a lot of loopholes that we have to run through
A lot of
to run a
time.
1983. You know?
Yeah, that's a 42 USC 1983 for all those people that don't know. But then also what I was talking about was 18 USC 241 and 242. Now 241 is conspiracy against rights under color of law, and I think 242 is deprivation of rights under color of law.
We also have them on that. Yeah. I mean,
Well, that's another thing too. It's like, I mean, if it goes all the way to the point of somebody getting killed by a cop, all right, under 242, this is a death penalty. You know what I mean? So that's the maximum penalty on the discharge. You know, it's like if the cops start getting put to death for their actions, you know, they'd start turning around a little bit. You know, I think.
Alcast just fell off the edge of the world.
Right on.
You know, and the crazy thing about Colorado is there is no qualified immunity in Colorado, but still the majority of the cops get away with whatever the fuck they get away with out here.
Yeah, because I mean that's how it's been, and they are used to it. I mean, honestly, man, I would love to see that kind of stuff nationwide, especially here in Florida, because qualified immunity for all government employees need to be eliminated.
Yeah, but
because honestly, us, the citizens or the people, are the ones that should have qualified immunity before anyone in government.
I've never heard a song about California, is it? No. Colorado. I've never heard a song about Colorado. Is there one or some? I've heard about Alabama.
John Denver does a few good songs about Colorado.
Does he? Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah. There you go. Fucking dumbling. So you don't think the police are very good round there? Where is it good to police? I mean, it seems rough everywhere, isn't it? What's New York like? Do you reckon?
Oh shit! New York cops are sucky.
New York is on its own level. I mean, they're pretty much on the same level as Aguilar was. In fact, they were putting up signs in police station lobbies saying that you couldn't film underneath penalty of arrest. As it stands right now, you have Long Island Audits, who has changed that around and is suing the New York Police Department for multiple civil rights violations.
Yeah. I like how he conducts himself. I honestly, you know, what he puts on film, basically, how he conducts himself in his process. I like how he presents himself, how he goes about it. Because I mean, honestly, man, they already want to escalate. You know, the cops and everybody else, they already want to escalate that. So that if you go along with that, it just gets higher and higher and higher. And I like when people are actually going in there calm, cool, collective, and it just throws them off guard. And it's like, you know, they don't know. I don't know how to respond. I want to get violent with you, but you're not being, you know, you're being very nice to me. So I don't know how I can be violent to you. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean that's the best way to go at it, in my opinion. In fact, I just recently had an incident like that out here. I went into the Pueblo County Sheriff's Department out here in Pueblo, and you know, just because in Phoenix, like, you know, in the lobbies they have plaques, they have all types of stuff that talk about the department or whatever. Here, apparently, they don't. So, like, I didn't spend too much time in there, but when I went in there, I was nice, and the woman was just confused because it's a law enforcement agency, and, you know, she's not sure if I can record in the public lobby or not, and if she felt that my recording was getting too invasive, she was going to call a detective or a deputy on me. So, you know, I laughed. I looked around the lobby really quick. There was nothing there, and then I walked out. But she was very confused at how nice I was.
Huh.
See, they expect. See, out here, people, I guess, expect you to automatically be that jerk off and jump up in their face and be like, "Well, I've got a First Amendment." Nah, 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 nah. And I don't play it that way. You know, I talk to them. I say, "Hey, blah blah blah." I get a lot of crap for what I do, but you know, I try to
Well, I
go
mean,
about it the nice way
see, that's
first.
another thing too. It's like they you know, the way the system is set up, they want to either compel or coerce or force your, you know, to just give up everything, all your rights. You know, it's
Hmm.
like, where does, okay, the Fourth Amendment? Oh my God, where is that? Where is that actually being honored? Our Fourth Amendment, where is that being honored by the officials at all, anywhere?
Hell,
You know,
where is
and
it being anywhere? I mean, I signed up for State Farm and they want access to my phone. I mean, everything, my contacts, my location, everything at all
mhm,
times. Like,
right.
where's my Fourth Amendment? Where's my privacy on my phone? Just because you want to make sure that I'm doing the speed limit
I know, and
or
see,
what?
that's another thing too. Even the cops, when they detain you, it's like, even, Supreme Court has said, well, you got a certain time limit that is acceptable or reasonable to be detained. You know, even if you haven't done anything, and blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's not violate. You know, it's like just having your ID and all that stuff is not necessary. It's an inconvenience, is what they call it. They don't, it's not necessarily um,
No, you're
violating your
just
rights.
impeding their investigation. That's all.
Well, okay, well, technically, see, that's another thing that gets me every time I see that or hear that out of cops' mouths. I'm sitting there and thinking, I was like, well, technically, lawfully, I have no lawful obligation to actually help you with your investigation against me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, if you're sitting here, you're investigating, and you're investigating me, and the Supreme Court has given you the lawful ability to lie to me during an investigation, and you're trying to convict me of some kind of something, why should I help you do that? You know?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna dip, boys. I've got to go. I'll catch you later.
All right, James.
All right, fella. Catch you later, mate. Bye.
And it is down to 2. But that's the thing. It's like I don't understand that. It's like they expect me to help them to convict me of something. You know, and that's where the coercion, the compelling, and force. They try and they try to force you if they can't do it. They just like, okay, well, if you don't want to comply, we'll just make you comply. We'll beat the shit out of you, if not kill you. To comply. I mean, seriously, if your taillight is out and you did not stop for that cop, they will try and do a pit maneuver and probably kill your ass. And it's like judge, jury, and fucking executioner right there on the fucking highway.
Well, I
Just because
mean,
of a fucking taillight, give me a fucking break.
well, hold on a second. I can tell you from experience, okay? And Ash and the other guy, I didn't catch his name. I'm sorry. I'm really bad at names. Um, Thank you for being here in your conversation. I don't know what happened to you guys.
That was
Um,
Jason and Arkash. That was
J-
who they were. Yeah,
Jason, that's right.
yeah.
But from experience, man, I was young, I was dumb, I was driving my buddy's car in New Jersey, right? And I didn't have the headlights on. I also had a suspended license. So, I didn't want my buddy's car to get towed, so I didn't stop for the cops. They didn't pit the car, but let me tell you what, once I got it back to the address that it was registered to, they there was like 20 of them there to beat the ever living shit out of me. So,
Right.
yeah. Like they don't like you running from them at all.
No, I mean that's another problem too. It's like, okay, especially if you happen to. I mean, if they fabricate a reason to begin with to try and pull you over, and then you do not comply with that fabrication, then it's like, okay, well, then there's like, they ran,
Right,
so we
Carl?
got to fuck them up now. Yeah,
Right? Well, and that's just it. Like when I got there, it's not like I was driving crazy. I wasn't driving over the speed limit. I just didn't stop. I took the
right.
car back to the house that, it belonged at. So in New Jersey, they can't tow the car. Even though I ran from the cops, they couldn't tow the car because it was on the owner's property. So that's all I wanted. I just didn't want his car to get towed. But when I got there, I gave up. I put my hands up. Like, I didn't fight. I didn't try running once I got there. Like, I sat in the car and let them surround the car. Like, I wasn't going anywhere. I got the car where I wanted it to go. But that still didn't stop them from whooping my ass because I ran from them.
Right. Dude, I was sitting there. I was like, I remember I've seen so many damn videos of cops acting up, and what they're willing to do and how much violence they were willing to use, it's the same mentality. You can see it right here with your own eyes in real time. The same mentality was going on back in the day of when all that Nazi stuff was going on. It's like, there was people that were ordered to do certain things. They were probably good people at heart, probably benefit of the doubt scenario, but they're ordered to do it, and they got that fear that they'll get killed if they don't, you know what I mean? It's like these guys are doing it for paycheck right now. You know what I'm saying? They're doing it for money. Honestly, if these cops weren't getting paid anymore, do you think they would actually still do this for like on a voluntary type issue?
Hell, cops are having a hard time. Los Animas is having a hard time just because of us right now and all the havoc that we're causing. They're having a hard time hiring people. They can't pay them enough. Hell, I mean, you've got Aguilar who pays $90 an hour plus the maintenance on their vehicles for them to be out there 7 days a week for 8 hours, and they don't even go out there for 8 hours or whatever, like once a week. Like, they have to get called out there to actually go out there. It's crazy, bro. Like,
well, I mean, there's too many agencies all over through the government that really just they're getting way too much money. I mean, it's funny too. I see this too. It's like they go through some kind of a tragedy or something like that. Next thing you know, they're asking for more money so they can get more stuff. You know what I mean? And all this other stuff. I see these guys over here every once in a while. You'll see them out here on the damn road with a boot in their hand asking for fucking handouts like a damn panhandler, and I'm like, motherfucker, it's like you already take a shitload out of our, money, our not our money, our sweat equity, our the stuff that we worked for in the form of taxes, and that's being taken in, paying your ass their salary as it is. And it pisses me off when these cops say, oh, well, I pay taxes too. I was like, no. You pay taxes out of my taxes. My taxes pay your taxes. So technically, you don't pay taxes. I do, and I pay yours too. So I mean, it's all a big circle too. It's just a way of the government trying to basically suck back everything that's out there. Every bit of wealth that we create.
Well,
I mean,
taxed on your refunds. So.
I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, the way it's going will be taxed to the point where we're just to be able to exist. I mean, we're almost there now. I mean, you start reading the letter of the law when it comes down to the Constitution and natural law and all that stuff, dude. This is all illegal. This is all unconstitutional. All fucking bullshit fraud that they're playing, and they're backing it up in this stuff called statutes, codes, policies, rules, regulations, mandates, and all this other shit, that don't mean shit compared to the supreme law of the land, but yet they just ignore the supreme law of the land and say all that other stuff is, above it. It's kind of like, oh, the policy in this building overrides the Constitution. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't film here.
Yeah, it's a policy. That doesn't mean shit to the Constitution. If it does not coincide, it's therefore unconstitutional. It should be illegal, and that's one of the things that when it comes down to like the magic, $1 million question, what do? Well, what we do need is enforcement. It's kind of like our own police or military that would actually enforce the Constitution on these government officials. Because honestly, who's going to do it? I mean, these cops aren't going to go out there and arrest their own unless they are, told to do so.
Well, yeah, and I mean they've got to have like it's got to be out there for them to go after their own. You know
Well,
what
it's
I'm
like that
saying?
town in New
Like,
Mexico. It's like that town in New Mexico down there, man, where like the whole fucking department was all fucked up. I mean, or even what was that? There was another town was like the whole police department was fired because of corruption. I can't remember where it was right offhand, but
shoot, I just saw somebody, and I'm so bad. I told you I'm so bad with names because I would just watch everybody in the half. But
yeah.
there was an auditor and his wife that have been covering this sheriff for quite some time, and everybody was trying to just blow him off until finally he got raided. And it was hilarious, dude. Like, they were right there when the sheriff's house was getting raided, and you could see these sheriffs or whatever like trying to dig into a safe outside by a pool, right? And I'm like, oh man, a pool safe. I never thought about that, bro. Like that's got to be like the most secure thing in the world, right? And then everybody in fucking chat seriously thought the dude had a pool safe. They didn't see the shed sitting right behind the pool.
All right.
But it's like, they do go after their own, but when they do, there's got to be like overwhelming evidence. It's not like, where they can just roll up on you and put you in handcuffs because you didn't give them an ID. Like they're not going to look twice at an officer when it comes to something like that.
Yeah, you saw that one video where that one cop pulled over that other cop for speeding or whatever. And and when the cop said, well, no, I'm not giving you ID. He just takes off and he just lets them. I was like, holy shit, if that was anybody else and it wasn't a cop, dude, that motherfucker would have been shot by that cop or something like, if he had just like got out of the car and then got back in it and just pulls off, dude, they would have shot at him.
I've seen videos where cops pull over other cops in their personal vehicle and they don't realize that they're cops at first until like they get up to the window and the guy, he doesn't show his ID, but he shows his badge, says he's a cop, gets all irate, jumps out, jumps back in and takes off, and the other cop's like, all right. I'm like, well, no. Go chase him down.
No, they should be treated exactly the same as everyone else. I mean, that's what I would love to see. And, I mean, honestly, that would be, okay, I have this thing. It's like, I don't think there is any good cops. Because if there was, there would be no bad cops. Until I start seeing people actually, like these cops actually, honoring their oath. And even if and these domestic terrorists, basically, that are infiltrated in our military and our government and our police department, everything from the top down. We need like an enforcement to take these people out,
Well, I've had
that's
cops
where it's at.
Talk to other cops, but then I question. I was like, because I've had interactions with them, so it's like, are they stopping them because they're actually like standing up for my rights and doing what they're supposed to be doing, or are they stopping them because they just don't want their department to look stupid? Like,
that's probably more likely that, to make it look like they're doing something. You know what I mean? Like I said, if it gets too high profile where they can't control like the narrative in a sense, they'll just try and like, scapegoat the motherfucker. You know what I mean? Honestly, this is where the cameras do really matter, because there's a lot of people who got cameras now, and the ones that are wanting to be those investigative type reporters, the ones that really want to get down to the bones in the closet type of thing, hidden cameras and zoom lenses, parabolic microphones, drones, get information that's hidden, that's like, and then get it out. And that's what really needs to happen, honestly, man. We get into records. Well, see, I don't have that knack. I don't have the patience. I don't have the know-how to get into all that stuff. It's like, but I don't know. Somebody has that talent. And
there's a lot of us that have that talent. I mean,
me personally, when I was doing cop watching back in the day, it was before the internet. It was like VHS camcorder type of shit. Nowadays, if I was to get back into it, which, I don't like being right there next to the cop. I don't want to be even anywhere near the motherfucker. I want hidden cameras. I want parabolic microphones. Zoom lenses, so I could be Overwatch. Basically, if I was like with somebody else, like somebody else that wants to be like up and close and talking and stuff, I can sit back and keep an eye on everything, get everything footage from everywhere.
You do realize that you just described the most suspicious person around a police scene, right?
But I could be all ninja-like,
Well, you may think that you're ninja, man, but you know those cops, bro. You'll have one sneaking up behind you. What are you doing? You sitting there with a parabolic mic.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
I mean, seriously, because I think that's one of the biggest things that I find annoying is the reason why they back everybody up, to wherever they want, is so you can't get a clear video image and you can't hear what they're saying. That's what pisses me off about when they mute their microphone on the body cam or they turn off the video altogether. That's tampering with evidence. That should be charged and convicted of those crimes. You know what I mean? But I don't see that happening.
Yeah, but that the department just sticks up for them and goes, well, that's information that would have been redacted anyways. So blah, blah. Like, and they can ask the officer what the officer was doing. And if the officer is smart enough, he was saying, well, I was putting out personal information and blah, blah, blah. Like, they can get away with it just with a simple excuse. And that's the problem, is they can get away with doing whatever they want because they've got enough people there that'll back them up.
Yeah, that's another thing too. This religion that they all believe in. I don't get it. I don't understand it, honestly, because I haven't been sucked into that religion. But it's like, it's kind of like, like a governor or something like that you really like in your area. Next thing he goes to Washington, within 2 weeks he turns into a parasite like the rest of them. It's like he gets infected. I don't know. It's like I guess they get infected by the alien fucking parasite or some shit. I don't fucking know.
No, look at politics. Like any high-ranking person that obviously people didn't want, in places. All of a sudden, dirt is popping up on that person, right? Like you hear about these politicians that go out to certain islands and do certain things, but you only hear about that once it comes to like a big race, that goes for that seat or something. That's why they all change, because eventually they all have dirt put on them somehow.
Yeah.
Like
that's the dirt that needs to be in. All that needs to be uncovered.
But is the dirt true? You see what I'm saying? Like,
okay, wait a minute. Yeah,
how high up they are. Look at what they can do as it stands right now. I mean, hell, they can make people disappear, and nobody's fucking wiser.
Well, I mean, put it this way: if some of this whistleblower shit that's actually, if it's true, some of these guys are talking about, they're talking about, what is it? These flying saucers and stuff that they're developed from alien technology that they're actually using for human trafficking. All right, now if this is actually legit, they pop this fucking thing over a disaster of some kind, like a natural disaster, and then they swoop up a bunch of people for whatever reason. I'm not sure what they're trafficking. It's for money. Human trafficking is very lucrative when it comes down to money wise. So I mean, but you're using this non-modern technology. It's not modern, but I mean, this alien technology they refurb and put into, because a lot of the if this is true, a lot of the UFO sightings that most people are seeing are more likely man-made objects. There's probably a small portion of it that are not man-made. But because they've been working on that technology since World War II. This is, I don't know where I was going with that, but it's something that I was popping up. It's one of those spider webs that connected it to somehow, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But but it gets into that the technology that they have, that they could just snatch you up if they wanted to. Like for instance, I knew a guy that I thought was paranoid. At the time, we were sitting there talking about a bunch of shit. Next thing um, you know, we walked down a couple of blocks or something like that to a convenience store to get a drink, and there's a black helicopter hovering over his fucking house. And he's out in the damn middle of the road, like, what do you want from me? What do you fucking want? That kind of shit. And I'm like, dude, man, I don't know what the fuck. I kind of didn't really talk to the guy that much after that fact. But I'm going to tell you, it made me wonder, it's like, what the fuck? If they, with all this surveillance and stuff like that with the internet now, and because this is way back before the internet, it's just like cell phones and all that stuff were not even invented yet. But,
right, Carl, the Blue Beam Project.
That's the thing, the technology they have right now. They were talking about like Ark Asher was talking about rail guns. I was like, that's pretty old technology. You think about like the different types of directed energy weapons that multiple countries have. You know what I mean?
Well, there's some crazy technology that people don't even know that exists out there. But then again, most people don't realize that live here in the States that the Patriot Act gave law enforcement the right to go into your house without your knowledge.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have to have a search warrant anymore thanks to the Patriot Act, and that's one little thing that a lot of people don't really know about in it.
Well, dude, I can't remember where I've got it stored. I got it somewhere, but I got a thing on a PDF, man. I think it was back in '94 when this was released. It was like a I think it was before Homeland Security and all that stuff, but it was like a department type thing and it talked about like if they had to implement martial law and all that stuff when it comes down to how they would do it. It even gave all the plans to like the different camps, whatever you want to call them, and stuff like that. And they've given themselves authority to actually, if you had like a farm and you had like livestock or whatever, and you had a bunch of stuff and like ammunition or whatever, they've given themselves authority in a time of emergency. They can take your property, take your supplies, take your food,
and they can take over your property.
They've given them, they've written it into the thing already years ago that they've given themselves authority in a state of emergency or an emergency situation. So all they got to do is declare a state of emergency, and it's like lock the damn nation down. It's like, okay, well, now we got to feed our military, so we're going to take your shit.
And we need to house them, so we're going to take your house. That's the Third Amendment, by the way.
Third Amendment, exactly. Well, actually, technically, in my opinion, with cops around, running around in military-grade fucking shit like they were running around in Afghanistan, is technically that Third Amendment violation right there. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, they're not necessarily in my house sleeping, but we pay them, and we pay for their homes. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically, in my mind, we're quartering these motherfuckers, but that's just my interpretation of how I see the document, for instance.
Right.
Because nowadays cops are running around like they're fucking in Afghanistan, man.
No,
and then that's another thing too that pisses me off.
I agree with you. They are way too militarized. In a lot of ways, just way too militarized. I mean, you've got Los Animas out here, and I know I keep bringing these law enforcement up out here, but I mean, when you're driving around,
no, it's good to get fucking it out there where people hear about it and know about it. You know what I mean?
They have like one of those big military trucks. It's got like I think it's a water cannon on it, but I'm not sure. I mean, it's got a turret on the top of it, but it's a big army truck, like one of those big like 6-wheeled vehicle trucks. Like they got one of the. What do you need one of those for? Like for real?
Well, they don't. It's a toy that they were bribed with by the federal government. You know what I mean? You know,
They
you
also have a mini tank.
yeah. See, that's another one of those toys that they get bribed with by the federal government. It's like, okay, listen, we'll give you this stuff if you do this for us. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
All right,
That's the
Carl.
state and the federal government fucking around with each other.
Right. Well, I mean, I I know we joke about it, but I mean, look at the blue line flag, and as soon as
Right.
that started here in the U.S., it started spreading all over the world. I mean, hell, you've got blue line flags all over the place now, and then they don't want to consider themselves a gang.
No.
Well, either you're flying colors and you're all wearing the same clothing, and you're in groups of more than 3 or 4 at times. I mean, those are usually like the definitions of a gang.
Yep. Yep. I mean, and they play like mafia type tactics too, you know. I mean, I'm here to protect you, the crap out of you.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think I saw a funny meme on Facebook the other day. It was a picture of a carjacking, and the caption was, get out of the car and nobody gets hurt. And then the next one was a cop pulling somebody over, and they basically said the same thing: get out of the car and nobody gets hurt.
I mean, I'm wondered, it's like, okay, if it gets, it's going to get to a popping point. I mean, I can see it happening. It's like the only problem is that I'm afraid that we're going to be busy with a civil war before we can ever get to anything that's like a revolution and actually changing it. You know what I mean? By force. You know what I mean? But
Well, what do you mean by civil war?
fighting amongst ourselves about bullshit.
Well, I mean, the people just need to get past the bullshit. I mean,
Well, that's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of. I hope I'm wrong.
No,
you know what I mean?
You're not wrong, because look at all the look at society today, and the fact that people focus in on Karens or Darrens or whatever, and it's so easy to just piss somebody off. I mean, you say Christmas and you piss somebody off. I mean, people's feelings are really, really sensitive. Like, and you got different belief systems, and those belief systems run however deep in whatever direction. I mean, you've got racist people out there, you've got just people out there that just don't like people, period. Like, I mean, it amazes me how thousands of people can get together, different people, different races, different beliefs, different political backgrounds, different everything, right? They can all gather for a fucking concert and walk out and not have a single fucking problem.
That is interesting.
We can't do it with anything else.
All right. Well, that reminds me. All right. You've heard that song by Oliver Anthony, "Rich Men North of Richmond," right? You've heard that song, right?
I think so. I would have to actually listen to it to tell you yay or nay, but I believe so.
All right. Well, shit. Now I'm gonna have to fucking play it for you. All right. Now I've been doing this the redneck way here, so I can't. I've got to do this. Hold on 1 second. But I'll play this one, and I want you to. It's more like a Appalachian type folk type sound when it comes down to the music. It's not necessarily country. It's more like folk music. But the message that he's speaking, it spoke to people all over the world, man. I mean, and this actually within 5 days, he was on the top of the iTunes fucking chart, just on this song. It just resonated with so many people all over the world, more like the middle class or lower class type people anyway, because he was talking about the Richmond north of Richmond, which is all those people up in DC, all that fucking bullshit. So that's what he was talking about. But here, I'm gonna have to play that for you. Here, let me turn this damn thing on.
Power on.
Power on.
Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth connected.
My Bluetooth is connected. Okay. Here we go. Let's do this. All right. Rednecking it. I got to do it like a cell phone shit.
Rednecking it. I love it.
Yep. All right. Let me get the damn angle. Okay, good. Okay, here we go. Listen to this. This is Oliver Anthony, Richmond, north of Richmond.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away. Drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. Your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. Cause the rich men, cause the rich men. I wish politicians look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags above ground. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. Cause the rich men, north of Richmond. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
I heard something like that. If you bring up the other you people over here, I'll play you a little version of that.
Okay.
It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Yeah, give me freedom or give me death. To that we pledge allegiances. We the people had enough, it's time we aired our grievances against these treasonous demons. So raise the alarm, cause the pigs are fully taken over on this animal farm. Don't know anymore, this world's gotten too cold to ignore. Shit, is it 2023 or 1984? Thought police up at my door to open fire on me, but I'd rather die on my feet than survive on my knees. And please, We know how they looking at us from up at the top. The tougher they made it for us, the fucking tougher we got. They thought they'd keep us scared forever, but fuck it, we not. We'll send them back to north of Richmond in some cuffs or a box.
It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul.
It actually sounds good when he sped it up like that too.
Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Behind the politicians, there's a far more sinister villain that's power-driven. Only answer to money is their religion. They controlling the way that we live in, keeping us mentally stuck in a prison, so that the fire they know is rebellion never can spread whenever it's risen. But they've been seeing us waking up, and now they fucking afraid. As we the people get to seeing through their fucking charade, we're being played by these elites who would rather see us enslaved, as they lead us by the hand where the land's dug with a grave. And they could kill our character through stories they publish, or they'll just murder us and brand it as suicide to the public, or an accidental overdose. Print the story, run it, say it's fact so people trust it, accept it and move on from it. But it's time to pick a side and get to striking a nerve. And any way we're able, I'm fighting this fight with my words. And if they keep pushing, then fuck it, we inciting the purge. And just to think, all we wanted was the rights we deserve.
It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. The Richmond, north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. Your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, cause the rich man knows the rich man.
There you go, buddy.
No,
That was Chris Webby, by the way.
Chris Webby. For all y'all out there, everyone, check him out also.
That was Chris Webby.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. See, that's one of the things that I actually appreciated about his Oliver Anthony's song, is it brought the conversation up, and it inspired people like that guy right there to make that song, for instance. All right, because there's stuff that people, okay, you know, that $1 million question is like, what do we do? Well, one of them is we got to learn how to communicate with each other. We got to still be able to communicate with each other, be able to speak freely with each other. That's one of the biggest things right there, because if we can't do that, how are we ever going to be able to coordinate? How are we ever going to ever get on that same page, singing the same song, as they say, you know?
Well, I mean, everybody's just got different opinions on freedom, bro. Like, how many, I mean, you might not be willing to give up certain things for, you know, your security or your safety, but most people are. And I think that's what we're dealing with, is we're dealing with people that are more scared and willing to let somebody else try and handle the situation and provide some sort of sense of security than to bring that around themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, people would much rather have other people fight their battles for them just so they could stay in their little bubble, is what I'm trying to say.
No, I get it. I mean,
happens to them, everything's all good.
Yeah, but that's the problem. It's like, you know, and for those people that are out there thinking that, you know, next thing you know, it comes to their door, what then? You know, there's nobody there to help them.
Well, that's the age-old story of, well, you know, they came for these people, and I didn't say anything, nobody else said anything, so it's all good. And then they came for those people, and then nobody said anything, and everything was all good. And then they came for me. What the fuck? Why didn't anybody help me?
Right. That's what bothers me too about, you know, I see it here in America, but I see it a lot more over in Europe. I don't know why, but it's just like everybody's trying to pull everybody down. It's kind of like that crabs in a bucket type of thing. When that one crab tries to get up to the rim, all of them grab a hold of it and then drag it back down. Well, it's kind of like that. And it's like nobody's really willing to help you up, and give you a lift up. It's just like it's so much easier, and it's more like entertainment now. It's all that drama and all that other shit. I see it through YouTube. This is one of the ways I get across the pond, for instance. Other than my CB radio. So I mean, I see it. And I'm not saying it's everywhere, but I mean, because it does happen here. When it's kind of like the chasing the Joneses scenario. It's like when somebody starts getting a leg up or getting up there, people want to try and drag them down. It's like, they get jealous of it, whatever. It's like, come on now. It's like if we were to just pull each other up, and actually, if we, now this is, like I said, this is probably like a pipe dream type of thing. It's like people would wake up to the point, and we declare independence from governments, from all of governments around the world.
Wasn't that supposed to be the point of the U.S.?
That's what I was
That's
always
what I was taught.
That was kind of like the idea that they presented to me. Yeah, I mean, okay, but is this like a lie? Because it's not happening in real life and in practicality. You know what I mean? It's like this is what you're supposed to believe, but yet it's not how it's happening. It's like, okay, like I was saying about the Fourth Amendment, we're all led to believe that these are our rights and they cannot be, all this type of shit, can't be messed with and shall not be infringed on the second. But guess what? Look at all these damn red flag laws, background checks, and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, everybody, there's no slavery, right? There's no slavery.
Well, we are kind of economic slaves.
Well, that's what I was about to get to. I mean, aren't you a slave to the system, period? I mean, if you don't do what they say, you go to jail. Right? Do you know the actual origin of police? Why police was?
Yeah, it was to actually reacquire runaway slaves.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And do you think that mentality has changed?
No, it's the same fucking shit, dude. They okay. You see it. On a majority basis, you see it. The cops, they look at the average people, average citizens, or whatever you want to call them, average people, as a potential criminal, or every one of them.
Or a money source. I mean, you've got a cop
revenue
that sits down the road from my work, and literally, this is just a road, and it runs down a bunch of warehouses. So the only people running down that road usually work down that road. So he's sitting there, picking off working people and taking their money for them running late and they're speeding a little bit.
Right.
You know what
Dude,
I'm saying? Like
I used to be a bouncer at a bar, and cops would. There's a grocery store that's right next door, and it would be closed because we're open way past closing time. And they would sit in the parking lot and watch the people that would go into the bar and sit there and watch them. Watch their cars and watch until they leave. Radio their buddy on the next road over, and as soon as they leave the bar, they would pull them over down a block away.
Right.
And I mean, in my opinion, I think that's kind of like entrapment, because I mean, they're sitting there just watching. It's like, damn well they sat in there for 2 hours in this bar. Damn well they're getting in that car, they're drinking, they've been drinking, and it's like that's what they're doing.
And you had that out in Gilbert, right? When I would cover it with Gilbert Bystander, we would sit there the entire night in that bar district watching people just bar hopping all night long, and then you watch them get in their cars and drive away, right? And there's a reason for that, because there's a cop literally about 4 blocks down waiting to pick people off.
Right.
I mean, there's a certain range from the bar that they have to be before it's entrapment down there, because they were getting caught up in all types of entrapment stuff, because they were.
It is borderline.
Right, it is borderline entrapment. And so what they started doing is they ended up putting in over $1 million just into the bike squad to run around on bikes in the
Right.
bar area, handle the bar fights, and to sit in the parking lots and to deter people from driving away, to get Ubers and whatnot and so forth. And I mean, that has been successful. I mean, there's a lot more cars that were left in the parking lot, but you know, when I left out there than when I started. So, I mean, it has been successful to a point. But also, on the other hand, how many of those people made it down the road without getting pulled over? And you know, that's where I'm iffy, right? Because I'm like, well, that could be, you know, I've had drunk drivers come in head on into my lane at me before. So I'm kind of strong against drunk driving, but I don't like cops.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, I don't like what cops do. I don't like to see somebody go to jail for drunk driving, but I like to see somebody go to jail for drunk driving because it took that person off the street and it possibly saved a life. Now, I understand there's a point behind the service, but that's why it's a public service.
But I mean, honestly, when it comes down to honoring their oth, I mean,
They need to be better. But you know, to go
well,
after
at
the
least
real
punished if they're
criminals.
not. You know,
Right.
I heard James Freeman say it one time, man. Before I totally agree with him. I was like, you know, what they ought to have is like they need to have mandatory shock collars being worn. So every time they violate somebody's natural rights or civil rights or whatever, they get shocked with 50,000 bolts. You know what I mean? That would be awesome. You know?
Right.
I mean, you know,
Currency
because
will be the seal. Yeah. Right.
I mean, see, and that's a big deal because you remember the truckers over in Canada when they that protest and all that stuff, man, they shut down people's fucking bank accounts. You know what I mean? You think about it. They can do that now. They can do that anywhere, everywhere. You know what I mean? When it comes down to that.
Dude, all right. I don't know if it was a prank thing, but my son swears it's for real. Like, he had posted this picture from Google, right? It was a message from Google stating that this person was banned for 10 years from using anything Google.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that the one where his house was shut down and everything too?
No. This is somebody that my son knows that.
Okay.
You
Never
know,
mind.
has been looking into certain things for years.
I know another story. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, but they apparently blocked him off of Google for 10 years due to the suggestion of the U.S. government. I mean, the U.S. government has a lot of pull. Again, I don't know if it's like fully true. I don't know if it's like one of those like prank fucking pictures, you know what I'm saying? But
right.
I'll try and do a little bit more research into that, but I've heard about it before where Google will ban your shit for 10 years just because of the stuff that you search. So,
well, I mean, I heard it wasn't Google. It was fuck, I can't remember right offhand. It was like a delivery service, whatever. It's all digital stuff. It might have been hooked into Google or whatever. What is it? Damn, my brain's having a fart right now. But anyway, some delivery guy was delivering a package, and the guy wasn't home at the time or whatever, answered through like the ringtone or the ring bell or whatever. And the delivery guy got offended by something or whatever,
oh yeah, the whole Amazon house.
Amazon, that's
down.
what it was. Yeah, I was like,
yeah, they
shut
Amazon
down
house.
everything. Oh, sorry, I hate that voice thing on my speaker. But yeah, they shut down everything, man. I was like, can you imagine just like a offhand? It's like if everything become like this, the smart city, you know, the smart this, smart that, smart this and that, and you're all connected to it. Yeah, they could shut everything down. Your whole fucking everything. You know, your air conditioner, your house, your you know, you can't get in your car, you can't do this, you can't buy anything because your bank's shut down and blah blah blah. You know,
it's getting crazy out there, especially when you have stories like that come out over a misunderstanding.
Right, and then having to go through getting it all reinstated type of stuff. You know what I mean? That's the That's what really fucked up.
with no compensation to what happened to him. It was like,
Right.
oh, we made a mistake. Here you go. Here's your stuff
Right.
back. You can continue paying us now.
Right. Oh, so I mean, that reminds me. Are you still doing stuff for Amazon?
No, I'm working in a different warehouse now, and let me tell you, this place is like 10 years behind, maybe 15 years behind in infrastructure as far as like the way things are done currently warehouse wise. Like they're still doing things like 80s style. It's weird. It's very hard work over at this warehouse.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean.
But it's all good. No, I got out of Amazon. I was tired of Amazon. I was tired of playing with them.
Well, I just haven't talked to you in a while. That's the reason why I asked. I mean, I know you were going through some shit back in the day. So.
Well, I mean, I won that, by the way. I mean, if you didn't catch up on that, I won that whole little thing with Amazon. And after that, I went back into another warehouse, and it was like everybody was on their P's and Q's with me. Like, I didn't have any issues at all. And I'm like, oh, man, like, it's in my file now. I'm like, I got to get out of here.
That's your permanent record.
Oh, you don't even know. The Amazon keeps everything on you. Every time that I would get a new job at a new warehouse for them, my old record would pop up underneath all my Amazon stuff. Like I could look back all the way to the very beginning. In fact, they just came out with an Amazon A to Z alumni app where I can go in and I can pull all my old stuff if I need to, as far as paperwork and stuff is concerned.
Yeah. Damn.
So, I mean, I got to give them props on that. At least I can go back in and get old W-2s and stuff. So,
right.
I don't know. I had my fun with them. I'm good. I'm done feeding the beast. I don't even shop from Amazon.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
hooking your phone into the CB. What are you doing with your phone?
Why did you hear that little ding or whatever?
No, I'm hearing like that buzz that you would hear from like it's just like a
Is it a buzzing right now?
Yeah, it's like a feedback buzz.
Is it gone now?
It's gone now.
Okay, I was just hooking it up to the so my battery. I was plugging it into the battery thing or whatever.
Oh.
That's all. So yeah, so when I'm charging it at the same time, I get a buzz. Okay, that's where that's coming from.
Maybe, unless like you've got it like sitting next to your CB equipment. I mean, that could.
I do. I have it on the same table but none of that's hooked up and on at the moment. So I mean, I had some antenna problems. One of the last storms,
What's up,
and yeah, I just I haven't climbed the tower and messed with the antenna yet. I just been putting it off. So, I mean, the only thing is like I got power cord that I had the phone charging at the same time because I don't know, StreamYard drains my battery real quick. So
it drains everybody's phone battery really quick. That's why I usually do my StreamYards on my computer. I
don't have all that kind of stuff. If I did, I would be able to share videos. I wouldn't have to do it the rednecky way.
Go to a pawn shop and spend $100 on a cheap ass laptop that's got like at least Windows 10 on it, and you're good. I mean, seriously, I've been running off of this laptop for like 6 years now. It's just about dead. It's taking forever to like load up, but I think that's because of Norton antivirus. I stopped using Norton antivirus, and for real, I think it's like one of those Apple deals where, they take you take the virus protection off and it just slows down your computer until you just renew it, and then it speeds it all back up. So I think I might just have to do a factory reset on it, but I don't want to do that because then you lose all your passwords and all the I got to go through. I don't want to go through all that. I don't want to go through all that. I'd much rather deal with the 15-minute startup. I grew up in the 80s with dial-up. I'm good. I'm patient.
Yeah. I mean, I know. I remember those days. I mean, shit, that's what I'm saying. It's like I remember when I was in oh God, what was it? Sixth grade or something like that. Fifth grade or something. Fifth or sixth grade or something like that. Or seventh grade. I can't remember. Anyway, it was around the time we were learning RAM and ROM, you know, and all that stuff when it comes down to like doing like, you know, computer like programming and stuff. That was back when it was just starting, and RAM, ROM, and DOS, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but that was
my son's getting into like coding and stuff like that on the computer.
I actually wish I could do that. Yeah,
it's good to see him messing around with Linux and stuff like that. I got to get back into my coding. I gotta start getting back into my Arduino stuff so I can start building some geocaches that are really cool out here. I'm tired of finding Tupperware underneath rocks.
Yeah, well, I was sitting there thinking about if I had the means to do it, if I knew how to code, I'd probably just make me an AI that would, like, I could make an AI lawyer, you know, that can actually, you know, win a case for me.
Right.
I mean, seriously,
I'm sorry if you didn't hear me. I welcomed you in. Anarchy's really bad about his chat. He likes
no, I'm putting a chat, and I like put up their comments and stuff like that. I'm here, I'm listening, I'm watching, you know, and see, yeah, you know, Latin Cal, you know, it's like, but Latina. But the thing is like, yeah, I see everybody in there. I see morning time, you guys.
He hasn't slept yet, neither have I. So
no, I haven't. Yeah,
that's
it's like
no excuse. But I've got Pepsi, he's got coffee, and we both got cigarettes. And you got weed?
I'm about to roll one actually, I think, man. But yeah.
Hell, I've been hitting on my pen and smoking the bowl here. I've just been trying to be respectful of your stream and not do it on camera. That's all.
You're cool. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. I mean, because I'm gonna tell you, YouTube is just really weird. I'm telling you, it's really pissing me off how many videos that they've deleted from me. And
I'm not having problems with the video deletion, but I'm having problems with my public watch hours. Like, I found out that once you hit a year, right, any video after that year process gets taken off of your public watch hours. So I'm dealing with like chasing a dragon right now to get my watch hours.
Well, see, I mean, you know, I guess the only way, that's what the thing is like you'll be chasing that shit for a while, because that's just like it's like a continuous every day, you know, putting like something out every fucking day or twice a day, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, God damn, it's like almost like a fucking job. You know, amount of especially if you get into editing, man. I know how it is because I used to do that with music. You know what I mean? When a lot of stuff became electronic, and just doing editing, oh my God, I can just imagine what I can do if I had the means to do it. If I had a laptop and stuff like that where I can do video and audio editing, some of the stuff that I would probably end up putting out it'd be visually crazy.
Yeah, but you know, you don't need your computer. I mean, pretty much everything that I do is on my phone.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like even the editing, because I mean, yeah, I can see, that's another thing here in Florida where I'm at. It's so freaking hot during the day. I can't live stream for very long. My phone's going to overheat. You know what I mean?
But you can can do all of your editing. Hold on one second. I'll bring something up that I was working on for my show intro, and you know, here, give me 1 second. I'm bringing it up because I gotta.
But you can put the intro in like through your phone, or you can you're just doing that on your phone, and have to put it on through your computer.
No, look, this is a video I did all on my phone. I didn't touch the computer at all. It's in the bottom now. Bring the other you people up.
Okay.
And it's gonna be that song that I played for you earlier. So just know that. But this is a video that I did, just off of my phone, all the editing and everything.
What the world's gotten to from people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. Richmond, north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Yeah, give me freedom or give me death. To that we pledge allegiances. We the people had enough, it's time we aired our grievances against these treasonous demons. So raise the alarm, cause the pigs are fully taken over on this animal farm. Don't know anymore, this world's gotten too cold to ignore. Shit, is it 2023 or 1984? Thought police up at my door to open fire on me, but I'd rather die on my feet than survive on my knees. And please, we know how they looking at us from up at the top. The tougher they made it for us, the fucking tougher we got. They thought they'd keep us scared forever, but fuck it, we not. We'll send them back to north of Richmond in some cuffs or a box.
It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Behind the politicians, there's a far more sinister villain that's power driven. Only answer to money is their religion. They controlling the way that we live in, keeping us mentally stuck in a prison, so that the fire they know is rebellion never can spread whenever it's risen. But they've been seeing us waking up, and now they fucking afraid. As we the people get to seeing through their fucking charade, we're being played by these elites who would rather see us enslaved, as they lead us by the hand where the land's dug with a grave. And they could kill our character through stories they publish, or they'll just murder us and brand it as suicide to the public, or an accidental overdose. Print the story, run it, say it's fact so people trust it, accept it and move on from it. But it's time to pick a side and get to striking a nerve. In any way we're able, I'm fighting this fight with my words. And if they keep pushing, then fuck it, we inciting the purge. And just to think, all we wanted was the rights we deserve.
It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. Your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. Cause the rich man, cause the rich man.
All that was done with a phone, man.
All the editing. I mean, you know, like
that whole video was done with a phone.
No shit.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Because I mean, you know, that was actually pretty good.
You like that?
I mean, it turned out pretty good. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
man, it made me think about some stuff when you showed that MRAP sitting there in that garage. I was like, man, I know a couple of police departments around here that's got one of those.
That's that big truck that I was telling you about. Just
Yeah, it
sitting
looks
there
like
in
an
their
MRAP
garage.
almost. You know what I mean?
Like, it's crazy, but I appreciate it. I mean, I just, you know, I try to put a lot of work and energy into putting our intros together and putting like a bunch of stuff that we've had to deal with. So I mean, yeah, I appreciate it. But yeah, all that was done with a phone. I use it's called InShot.
InShot. I haven't heard of that one. I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's free.
It's like okay, you know, and that's just a video editing and it's really easy to like import videos and stuff like that. Does it use up a lot of what do you call it, like memory or whatever?
It depends on how much you do with the video and how long the video is.
Okay.
So as much record time as you have on your phone is what you can use. So like say you can do 2 hours of record time on your phone, right? So you can do an hour video, but you got to have that other space there to convert
save
it
it.
over, because you're going to have another hour-long video unless you cut it down. You
Right.
see what I'm
right.
saying? So
Right.
yeah, it does depend on the memory on your phone and how long the videos are and whatnot or so forth, and what you do with the videos. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, like there is a paid version of it that you get a lot more cuts and whatnot and so forth, because there's like always a pro version. But when I got into InShot, it was when it first came out, and I got the lifetime membership. So anything new that comes out with it, every time it upgrades and whatnot and so forth, I don't have to worry about paying for those upgrades. They automatically come in with my membership. So I get a lot of different editing options. But even then, like even when I was using it for the free version, I was doing a lot of good edits with it, with just the basics, you know. That's how I think everybody's like, you know, use Power Director or this or that. I couldn't. No, I'm not using Power Director. There's just way too much going on with it. InShot's easy. All you got to do is add a video out of your gallery, you know, cut it up how you want to cut it up, add whatever you want to add. It's got different cut scenes, you know, pretty much does everything for you, you know.
Now, like, okay, for instance, but the thing is, it's like, okay, I can't. That's the reason why I'm doing the rednecky thing when it comes down to sharing those video, for instance, is because I can't take a video that I've got in my gallery and share that like you were sharing that video. You have to do that on the laptop, don't you?
That video is actually on YouTube right now, and the only
yeah, I know, but
why...
you can't share it. You know, like for me on here on StreamYard, unless you were on your laptop, or can you do that through your phone?
Oh, you mean how I was doing it? No,
right.
You can't do that on your phone. You can't share different screens on your phone.
See, that's the thing. It's like if I can make a video, edit it, and all that stuff, and share it. Right now, see, that's right now. I'm only on a phone. I don't really have the money to put into like getting a laptop and all that other stuff and getting hooked up to the internet and all that other shit. I don't have the money to do that.
Well, I mean, as far as doing videos and edits, you could do that and still put it up on your YouTube. Right.
Like
You don't need the computer for your editing or whatnot or so forth.
Yeah, you have a point there. I mean, that's granted, fair enough. But I was sitting there thinking, like, for instance, if you were wanting to use that as the opening of your show, for instance, on a live stream, you know, it's like, okay, I'm going to share this and put this. This is going to be my opening scene for the live stream.
Oh well, you know? then what I would do normally is I would have that in my StreamYard. So I would pay. I pay for my StreamYard.
Oh yeah.
So, but even still, I think you get like a couple of video clips available to you. Why don't you go into your brand, right? Like go over into your side menu here into your brand, and go down to video clips. You should have. You should.
I think I got a countdown. That's it. I think.
Okay. Yeah. So it should have a little plus box, right?
I think I have to pay for that though.
No, you get a couple of video slots. So you could put an intro together and put it up, but it's got to be under 200 megabytes, which is just under 3 minutes. That's the reason why that intro is on YouTube, is because it exceeds the megabytes for StreamYards to actually put it.
Well, okay, I'm gonna push on something and see what happens. Let's see here. Add video clips. Let's see here. Uploading. I'm gonna let that upload real quick. I didn't know I can do that. Is that a new? That's a new thing for the free scenario.
No, you've always had that option. Like the overlays, I don't think you get any overlays other than what's there. But I do believe you get like 1 or 2 videos that you can do on that video slot, and it would bring it up here on the main screen whenever you click it.
Because I mean, I went browsing through all this shit how long. I've been using StreamYard for a little while, but you know, it's like I remember it was like every time I did that before, it was like I had to get the pay version. So they must have upgraded or updated it or something and gave me something free for the free stuff.
I don't know. Maybe
I don't know. I mean, because adding a clip, I've never been able to do that. That's pretty crazy. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe they did. Maybe they changed some of the features. I mean, they also have a $10 agreement where you still get pretty much everything as the $25 agreement, but the only difference is there's a StreamYard logo on your screen that you can't get rid of. But it's $10. The only downfall is you have to pay for the $25 month first, and then say that you're gonna leave, and then they'll offer the $10 to you. Yeah, that's the downfall. Because I was on the $10 one for a while, and I liked it. I didn't mind having StreamYard up in the corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm using it, but fuck it, why not? And they're only charging me $10, and I was still able to do everything that I could do with the $25 one. So, but then
Right.
I totally cut it off because we moved and everything, and then I went to go put it back on, and I couldn't start back with the 10. I had to go back to the 25. I'm like, oh, you're an ass.
I can do almost everything I want to do with the free stuff. I mean, I've already figured out the loophole on how to get unlimited hours on streaming and stuff like that. So I don't have to worry about that. Because I mean, back when I was doing long streams for like 20 hours or something, it was actually, I was eating up my damn 20-hour streams, like, in a week, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I got to do that. I figured out the loophole for that. So, I don't have to worry about it. It's like, okay, well, if I can do that was the only reason in my mind at the time for getting the paid stuff was the unlimited hours, you know what I mean? Well, I don't need that, so I could do it with everything I kind of need to do with the free. Here, hold on, this thing. Let me try this. What is it?
Selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
See, that's why we pay for StreamYards, because I mean, we've got like 20 of those clips.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we've got sponsors that we got to put up inside. We've just got all types of stuff, so we have to pay for it. I mean, I feel you. You remember when I was doing like 4-day long streams with New Guru?
Yeah.
I mean, I was seriously going through like 5 different emails for that.
Well, see, that's another thing too. You get into conversations with like New Guru. That's another thing. You get into certain conversations. Boy, he can talk. But but that's the thing too. It's like that communication.
351.
The what now? 351.
I was saying.
I didn't even see that one pop up. What's up going on?
Vengeance is mine. He's been in here for a minute, or she's been in here for a minute.
Restream. That's another thing too. That's actually kind of neat. I've done a couple of times, but the only problem is like every time I've done it, something happens during the stream that fucks it all up. Yeah. It's really messed up too, man. I was over on somebody else's panel, and I restreamed it on my channel, and somebody came from my channel evidently and porn bombed their channel.
Oh wow.
And I was like, holy shit. I felt really bad because it was like they came through, I guess, to do something to me, but they ended up doing it to that other channel, which I have respect for. So I was like, it's messed up. So the only thing about it, certain things.
He says I should iron my shirt with my phone.
What's up, Helen?
I'm reading 351's comments. He says turns his phone into a waffle maker like Super Hot. He says he should iron his shirts with his phone when he's on Restream.
Right.
I think it doesn't matter. Like StreamYards, Restream. If you're on a restreaming service of any kind, hell, even when I'm on just YouTube Live, my phone starts baking. I can't stay on.
Oh, dude. I mean, honestly, I'm sitting on top of an ice block right now. Here, I want to show you guys. See, I'm sitting on a damn one of those ice things you stick in the damn freezer. I got my phone laying down on top of it.
Why? Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you. You said you were sitting on it. I'm like, why are you?
No, I got my phone sitting on it. So it's like, it's like, the more it heats up, it just melts that thing a little bit. It stays cold.
Did you know that they make little ice packs for the backing of your phone? They're re-stickable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, somebody came up with these like little ice packs that you can stick up to the back of your phone, I guess, while you're restreaming or whatever, or you're live streaming, so that way your phone stays cool, which was a good idea. I just never bought any. I should have bought some for Arizona. Out here, I don't know. I haven't had a live stream out here yet, so.
Honestly, man, what it really needs is like a big old fucking heat sink on the back of it with a fan. You need a big old fucking aluminum heat sink that stretches across the whole phone and a big fan blowing on top of it. Right. That's what it really needs. But damn, I mean, because seriously, it does get pretty damn hot. That's one of the reasons why, and it's really weird too, because I'll get into certain conversations, and right when I'm getting to the root of the whole scenario, and evidently it's like I'm pushing buttons, that's when the damn phone fucks up and it overheats and everything goes to shit. That's why I dropped out earlier. I guess I was talking about something, but I don't know, because it fucking overheated on me. I had to restart the phone and then come back and put this thing on ice. And anyway.
No, I completely got you. And if you guys like really want to see one of the commercials, I have one of the commercials set up here for you. I'm gonna bring this up for you. If you want to bring this up, I've got one of our commercials here.
Yeah, no, yeah.
All right, ready? Here we go.
You must be Jack.
How do you do, Mr. Britton?
No. Call me Pete. Come on in. Honey, Jack's here.
I'll be down in a sec.
She'll be down in a sec. So Jack, the infamous Jack, we finally meet. How awesome is that?
Pretty great.
Right. So, do you want a Dick and cider? What? I said, how about a Dick and cider? Jack, it's no big deal. You act like you've never had a Dick and cider before.
Jack.
Honey, apparently Jack here has never had a Dick and cider. You remember your first, don't you, sweetie?
Yeah, it's good.
So good. Let's get it.
Okay, but can we make it quick?
Absolutely. Lucky boy, Jack. You're gonna get your first one tonight. All right! You can't blame a guy for getting excited about a Dick and cider.
That's one of our commercials.
Dude, it kind of reminded me of there's this guy from New Zealand that is sitting there talking about his dick out there out behind his house. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, we got this new stuff you put on it to help your dick stay dry. And I was like, oh my god, it was fucking beautiful.
Oh well, there's another one out there that where they got random people to say to like they got a little girl that's standing right in front of her mom, and the little girl goes, "My mom loves the Dick and cider."
Mm.
and it just goes on from there. Like it's just random people making the joke. It's hilarious. I love those commercials, man. But it's an actual drink. Like, it's not a prank. Like, it's an actual drink. This is a company. Like, it's just hilarious. I love the name.
Mm. Dude, I mean, I think it's kind of funny that because there's a chicken restaurant up in New York, out in Manhattan. That's called Pluck You. I was like, that is just beautiful. I mean, can you imagine answering the phone at that place? You're like, hey, man, Pluck You. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And it's a good chicken place, man. They got damn good chicken there, or at least that day I ate there anyway. It was good.
right?
Yeah.
Hey, you can't complain if it was good that day.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It all depends on who's cooking, really, you know what I mean? No matter where you're at, you know what I mean? Um,
I don't know. I've been in some pretty scary places where I didn't even touch the food. I just walked out.
Dude, I have to admit there are some places that I wouldn't touch either, but I mean there are some places that you wouldn't expect. It looks like a little hole in the wall type place that you would think that, you know, this is like in somebody's backyard type of scenario or whatever, you know, but man, it's some damn good food, dude. I've had some good food from places like that. You wouldn't
Well,
think it by just like looking at it, you know what I mean?
well,
But
and you wouldn't think that a hot dog from a roadside stand would be good either. But
mm,
you know, I've come across a lot of good roadside stands. Let me tell you.
I would love to have a hot dog stand, man. I would love to run them. I would love to have one and run one. I think that
Right,
would be
Carl?
awesome.
Right, Vengeance? They're over here all talking about all phones are tapped. You damn
Of
Skippy,
course,
they're all tapped.
that's the Richmond and Richmond. You know, the Richmond and north of Richmond. They always want to know what you think, want to know what you do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's exactly it. You know, it's all that surveillance state. You know, I mean, shit. They got these new cameras that are popped up around here because evidently Florida got a grant for a bunch of them. But they got these new cameras. They're just on a pole, and they got a camera with a damn solar panel above it. All right. And what I found out is these are automatic tag readers, and they're all over the fucking place in random places too. I saw one pointing like as you're coming down to the boat ramp down here by the river, it's pointing at your tag as you're going down to the boat ramp.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, motherfucker, these things are everywhere, man. And even in rural areas. You know what I mean? Automatic tag readers.
Yep. And they're even getting like just issued on cruisers, period. Like it's not even an issue anymore. Like they're getting put onto cruisers. So that way they can run your tag whenever the fuck
Well,
they want. And then they have the
they
reason to
don't
pull
have
you
them on
over.
all of them around, but I mean, I know there's at least one or two of them down in Panama, you know, where they sit. You know, I was telling you, like when they sit down there at the bar and shit and wait for people, they got tag readers on like one or two of their cars.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, they are becoming like normal issue. Most of the
Yeah.
cruisers out here have them, right? And then the cruisers out in Los Animas have them. And Los Animas is like it's big, but it's not that big. And then you go to a town out in Arizona, um, hell, I forget the name of the town. It's a really small town though, like less, like
Right.
200 people, right? And they've got brand new cruisers with license plate readers on them. Like they're becoming standard issue on police cruisers anymore. With the amount of technology that we have and the amount that you can stuff into a cruiser anymore, you'd be surprised how much technology they have.
Yeah, I know. A good EMP or something like that would knock a damn car out. I was sitting there watching this damn car race on another channel that I know. This another YouTuber I met called
A,
Truth
li-
Slinger.
a license plate, Helen.
Yeah, had a license plate. That's what it is. I think she knew what I was talking about. But anyway, I saw it. I was sitting there. He was restreaming a damn car chase. I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, man, don't people just really have to? They have to learn, man. You know, if you can outrun the radio and outrun the helicopter, you're doing pretty good. But if you can't do that, you are just going to get caught or killed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're not going to stop. They're going to keep chasing you until they catch your ass. If you can outrun the radio and the helicopter, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I never tried running from a helicopter yet. I watched too many people try to do it in Phoenix and be unsuccessful. So
I saw a Hellcat do it one time on video, man, but that's about the only time I've ever really seen him outrun a damn helicopter. Because a helicopter can go about 120, 140 maybe. You know what I mean? Miles per
they don't
hour.
have to deal with traffic.
No, that's true.
They don't have to deal with traffic. It's just a straight out run for them. So straight out run for them.
Yep.
But that's the game. They get better toys to play with. We just got to outsmart them. And
Yeah,
the way
that's
that we
what's
do that, and the way that we do that is with their own damn laws.
well. See, that's what's bothering me about how they keep on trying to attack the damn Second Amendment and all that stuff. You know, saying they want. I mean, they literally have said it out loud. They want to take our fucking guns away from us. And and one way of doing it is like just eliminate the bullets. You know, they got control over all the pieces and parts, like the brass, the powder, and the ignition or the igniter, or whatever you want to call it, the primer. They have all the control over those components. And, you know, now the fucking, you know, or the manufacturers are making another NATO rounds and sending them out of here. They're not really making any civilian stuff. It's like, you know, shit. Now we can't even. Once the bullets are gone, they're gone because they're not putting any more out. You know, here for civilians anyway.
What?
Yeah, they're not producing it. All the ones that they're, although it's manufacturers here in the U.S. are producing NATO rounds to go overseas. Yeah. They're not producing anything for civilian use. So what's on the shelves now is like they're not getting resupplied. You know,
I'm gonna have to look into that one. I mean, I've heard some stuff, but I haven't heard that. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Well, all right. Put it this way: this is one way of, you know, in a sense, gun control. It's like if we ain't got no damn bullets, the damn thing's a paperweight. You know what I mean?
Yes, I have vengeance. I mean, it's kind of crazy the stuff that's out there for kids. I mean, they don't need an AR. They don't. If you, and I don't understand that either. Like I can understand owning.
What was the earliest age you shot a gun?
Probably about 17.
Really?
Yeah, it was the first time I shot a gun. And even then it was a shotgun, like pump action shotgun, like nothing automatic. I don't understand automatic. I can understand guns, right? Because the purpose behind guns is to protect yourself and to provide for your family. That was the original purpose behind guns, was to protect yourself and your family and to provide for your family as far as go out and hunt. Now, I don't understand what you need an AR-15. If you're not confident enough that you're going to shoot the burglar within 3 shots.
Well, wait a minute.
I'm just saying, like, I
let me
understand.
well,
I'm not knocking anybody. I'm not.
Okay,
Don't take offense.
Let me throw this in there. Okay, you remember the McCloskeys? All right, you remember when Antifa and the Black Lives Matter, they came in that fucking fancy neighborhood and those fucking couple came out of their house with the damn AR or whatever, and the fucking wife had a pistol. Right. You remember those guys? Okay. All right, think about this. All right, now you're talking about like one intruder, for instance, that you might be able to get with 3 shots. What if you had 15?
No, I hear you, and I understand, right? Like, you know, that certain circumstances, certain things are needed, right? Mm-hmm. But I just don't understand an assault. I mean, unless like you're a drug dealer and you got to worry about your house getting raided, like I really don't see the point on having an automatic weapon.
Maybe like in a you know, in a safe type environment, but we don't live in a safe environment because we, you know, like for instance, the main reason where the Second Amendment was put in place in the first place because we, at the time, we just went through a war for 2 years, could still smell the smoke in the fucking air. Right. And we knew that a government can become tyrannical, and we need to have a way of protecting ourselves.
Now,
so what if ours?
That. You know, I understand having to protect yourself against the government. Mm-hmm. I completely understand that. And if you're going to be dealing with the government, you're going to be dealing with a lot of cops. You're going to be dealing with
military style fucking shit.
Right, and it's not even military style shit. Because, you know, they declare martial law. Who's coming out? National Guard. And I mean, that's the hardcore people that aren't gonna walk away from the military services, whatever branch that they're in, because they're not gonna fucking fight against their family or their friends or whatever.
That I hope you're right about, because honestly, man, I've had that conversation with family that are in the military and in police force, and it's like, okay, if you were ordered to come to my house right now and do like a mandatory relocation and weapons confiscation, would you do it? And I've had family give me the right answer, and I've also had family give me the wrong answer, and I'm like, and I told them straight up, I know your blood, but as soon as you come across that fence line, you'll be the first one fucking shot in the head. You know what I mean? Because you became the enemy. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. It's like those are the minds that we've got to reach, man. You know, the ones that are more likely to probably just follow orders.
Right. And that's
Because I mean, you think about it, as long as they get their money in their pocket, their fucking food in their belly, and a place to sleep and shit and all that other stuff, they're going to continue doing what they're doing because they've got it made. They don't have to do anything different because they've got everything they need.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I'm probably going to be one of those unfortunate souls that gets taken over, because I don't know. Maybe it's just me, and I don't knock anybody. You know, anybody can own whatever the fuck they want. I'm not telling anybody not to own a damn thing. Me, I just don't. I prefer knives.
You don't see something in. Well, I agree. I totally agree. But
prefer knives and swords.
that's a rational mind, and I agree. But when it comes down to dealing with somebody that's not rational, that's very irrational, that's not thinking on your same wavelength, they don't give a shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm also not worried about 15 people running up into my house either. Like, I mean, maybe 2, maybe 3 people, like all in a little group raiding my house, maybe.
Right.
Okay. All right. Then I'm kind of screwed because
in what we're living in right now, I mean, you know, because quite honestly, I've said this before to like other people. It's like, you know, this Antifa and all this other crap, but they wouldn't try and pull that shit in some of these small towns here in Florida. They wouldn't fucking do it, man. I mean, they get their ass whooped. Next thing you know, there'd be motherfuckers pulling out of the damn woodwork with rifles in their fucking arm. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, it ain't gonna fucking happen. And that's the reason why they try that shit in all these other fucking towns, because people aren't willing to fucking protect themselves in their place.
Hold on.
I mean, seriously, dude. I mean, I've talked to people that live out there in Washington, all right, you know, in the area of fucking Chaz and all that shit. And I'm like, dude, all right, if you really wanted to protect your area, why didn't you? You just gave it up, basically, you know?
No, I hear you. And like I said, I'm probably going to be one of those unfortunate souls that gets taken out because I don't have that type of protection. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I mean, I hope not. I hope you have other ways of protecting yourself, because I mean, honestly, if it went to shit, everything did go to shit in your area, for instance, even if it didn't go everywhere in the nation, but if it was just in your area, I mean, like for instance, your neighbors and stuff, do you know them at all? I mean, do you know, like for instance, if it went to shit to the point where people started getting hungry and they wanted to take your stuff and they're willing to take your life to take your stuff,
that's when I'm going to be out in the middle of the woods with my family.
Well, that is a plan, but you're not the only one with that plan, dude. No, I'm telling you.
No, I am not the only one with that plan, but it is better than sitting here waiting for my neighbors to try and pick me off because they're hungry.
No, I hear you.
I mean, I've got certain survival plans. I've done my whole little survivalist thing. My whole thing is I don't own a gun, and like certain guns, like I said, I can understand, right?
Are you legally allowed to have one?
No. Okay. Legally, I'm not allowed to have one because I'm a felon. I mean, but has that stopped me before? No.
But I'm just saying, it doesn't say, you know, you shall not be infringed unless you're a felon. You know, I mean, honestly.
I mean, technically, if you want to get technical, I can own a blunderbuss. And I can do some damage.
Flamethrower.
You know, it doesn't say anything about flamethrowers.
There you go.
But I mean, that was my whole plan with my house. I mean, when I've always had this house like dead set in my head. It's built underground, and the entranceway to come into my house has a handrail that has it's just nothing but a giant flamethrower. So I don't have to touch you. You come to my door and I see you on my camera, I just flip the switch and I bake you. That's it. But that's after I win the lottery. That's my rich man dream,
If I was to win the lottery, for instance, I already got that planned out, all that stuff. If I had the money to do it, first off, I would just acquire some land first off. All right, and then I would probably see. This is another thing too. If I had the money, I would not only acquire certain like land, for instance. I would also try to buy my freedom. I mean, seriously,
you shouldn't have. That's the whole point. You
I know
have to
I shouldn't
buy
have.
your freedom.
I know I shouldn't have to. I know I shouldn't have to.
That's what everybody is doing. I don't care what you say. I mean, even the most poorest person on the street is still doing that. I mean, you have to pay to live.
Yeah, I know.
Some way, shape, or form. You got to.
No, but this is what I'm thinking in my mind. For instance, okay, this whole thing when it comes down to like the birth certificate and all that other shit, and that's how the driver's license and blah blah blah, social security card, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
All the whole deal about the straw man, blah 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 stuff. All right, without getting too deep in all that shit. I was sitting there thinking about it, like when it comes down to like the houses or property and like, buying a car or something like that, instead of using fiat currency, buying it with gold.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at vengeance.
Right on.
So they said they want to have a front porch that drowns people. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I can just imagine that, a drop down like an old school trap door that just
drops them
into a fucking pool that they can't get out of. Oh,
I've got alligators. Mm-hmm. They got to eat too,
Hey man, like you got to use all of your natural resources around you, even for protection.
I'm telling you, that's another thing too, man. These alligators can be good protection if I trained them well enough.
Right.
I mean, they got a mentality like a dog almost. It's pretty crazy.
Hey, any animal can learn, like any animal. I don't care what anybody says. Animals are intelligent as fuck, and I'm still waiting for like the Planet of the Apes to happen, like for real.
I mean, honestly, man, with all this genetic stuff that's going on with CRISPR technology and all this stuff, they want to actually repopulate Antarctica, Siberia with woolly mammoths. They're going to use DNA from existing elephants and some other stuff, and CRISPR technology to create woolly mammoths again and repopulate Siberia with it.
So they're basically pulling a Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was bound to happen. I mean, they pretty much, I mean, it's blatant in movies that movies are pretty much, the future of what's going to happen.
Dude, okay, put it this way. It's not chimpanzees, but it's like a certain breed of monkey or whatever that are incredibly smart. Dude, a lot of researchers for decades have been working with these monkeys or whatever, and they're so smart. They learn sign language. They know how to like crack nuts using a tool like a rock. You know what I mean? How to make a knife out of a rock.
Yeah, but you can also teach a chimpanzee and an ape and an orangutan. You can teach them all sign language. They understand. They know. Yeah. They can learn.
Right.
Like they may not be as developed as we are, but again, like any animal, you can pretty much train any animal.
Dude, I know it's like probably a fake video, but have you seen that video out there with that chimpanzee that got a hold of that AK-47? Right. I thought it was funny as hell, man. I was like, man, yeah, I could just imagine that's like a Planet of the Apes type of thing. It's like you just give a chimpanzee a fucking machete and see what it will do with it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good on that one. Carl's like crows do, and then vengeance is like classify smart, because humanity is filled to the brim with truly dumb fucking people.
I mean, dude, ravens. I've seen ravens actually open a dumpster. You know what I mean? To get stuff out of it. I mean, these things. It's just pretty crazy. I was in New Mexico and I saw these and the plastic lids for the dumpster. They'd lift that fucker rubber and swung it open. I was like, hell yeah.
You can teach them how to talk. They learn. There's crows and ravens out there that learn how to talk just because they're in the city.
Dude, they will remember your face too. Like if you understand, if you did something wrong to one of them, and they will remember your face as long as they're alive.
What's up, 1220?
Golden Gate, what's up? Yeah, morning time, everybody out there.
Yeah, they're vicious, man. Why do you think they call them a murder, bro?
Right? Yeah. A whole gang of them.
Right?
Yeah.
They're vicious, bro. Let me tell you.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Like the zombie apocalypse thing, and a murder of them suckers coming around all zombified and shit. Be like that movie, The Birds.
Yeah, but those weren't zombies. They just ate people.
Right. But dude, I mean, there was like an illegal biochemical weapons fucking factory or lab or whatever in California that was supposed to be ran by Chinese government and shit. It's like wasn't supposed to be there. So, what the fuck, dude? And it was working on the crap, on the crap, the cerveza shit. You know what I mean? And I'm just trying to say it out, say the word. Because I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of stuff that gets flagged when it comes down to certain words now. I mean, I even think my talk to text is being it stops on certain words. Or I have to actually manually type it in. You know what I mean?
I've never had that issue.
I have that issue. I don't know why.
Well, you don't know why.
Evidently, man, I'm on somebody's list. Evidently, I don't know, but
aren't we all on the list that fuck with? I mean, come on, man. I've proven it. I'm on the domestic terrorism list just because I watch The Cops. I'm on the domestic terrorism list.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're a white guy. You believe in the Constitution. I mean, I don't know if you're religious or not, but you're already a certain level of terrorism, terrorist qualities right there, right?
Right.
You believe in America? Oh hell, you're a fucking terrorist, man. Yeah. I think the FBI even actually classifies, like, if you're a white guy, you're Christian, and you believe in the Constitution, those are like qualifications to be a domestic terrorist.
I thought it was just if you oppose government in any shape or form.
Well, that's probably true too, man. Because I mean, what is it? Government only cares about continuity of government. So anything that goes against its tries to circumvent its continuity, it considers a terrorist. So.
Well, that's because you're going to take away their livelihood and their paycheck if you go in and try and take it over.
Yeah, a bunch of fucking house slave welfare recipients out there. Honestly, if we weren't working and being forced to pay all this fucking shit to them, they wouldn't live this comfortably. They wouldn't have the funds to do it. No.
Well, I mean, look at just the budget that they get when they actually make a seat and they get their own office. I mean, I think, what was it? It was $75,000 to decorate an office that they get. It might be more now, but I mean, like, look at all the perks that you get for being up in those upper government seats.
Well, dude, I was sitting there thinking about that too, man. I was watching this thing on Obama, man, and there's still fucking Secret Service protecting his ass. You know what I mean? I was like, man, it's like that. They're just funding the Secret Service to protect ex-presidents for life.
that's because they're trying to get you on something, Callie. they're just naturally nosy. DAs and sheriffs are just naturally nosy. I would, but I'm not sure if they did or not, thanks to the Patriot Act. But usually we have somebody home all the time, so I have like very little fear of anybody coming into my house without my knowledge, unless we go out on a road trip. I hate when my
Well,
wife
see, that's another thing
checks
too.
in on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if they do come in, you know, there is a possibility they can leave something behind too. You know,
Right. And that's all in the Patriot Act. They can do it legally and lawfully if they have a reason to believe that you are a terrorist or doing terroristic acts in any way, shape, or form. And that's all the excuse that they need. And with what we talk about, I mean, you and me and anybody else that's in this genre of YouTube, we're all being watched. Like, there's no doubt. No doubt. I don't know how many law enforcements are watching my channel.
yeah, every time you go live, they're like, okay, where is he at?
Right? I've
Yeah.
got Phoenix, I've got Gilbert, I've got Mesa, I've got Los Animas, I've got Aguilar, I've got so many different pieces of government watching my show. It's funny.
I try to catch every once in a while because I got good citizens subscribed too. So I mean, every once in a while when you guys are restreaming each other or whatever, I'll catch it one way or the other. I try to catch you guys when you guys are live because I mean, you know, I try to catch everybody I'm subscribed to live if I can. But when I got time, I'll go back to the replay if I didn't catch it or whatever. I don't know. I like to keep. It's like putting my ear to the ground when I sit there and try and keep up with everybody. You know, because I mean, this is one way I do it. I mean, because I use YouTube for like, you know, meeting new people and networking and entertainment or whatever. But you know, but that's what I use it for. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, me and you, we met on YouTube, but I mean, you know, miles apart. You know what I mean? But we can sit here and have a conversation about stuff. You know, that's what I find is interesting because I mean, you know, your perspective on things is different than mine, and that's what I find interesting. You know what I mean?
My perspective is very different on a lot of people.
Well, I mean, you know, but that's everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, you know what I mean? And I don't have to, you know, believe or agree or anything like that the same as you. But we can sit here and still have a conversation and talk, you know, be civil, I guess you would call it. You know what I mean?
Well, and I'm not
cordial.
also, well, me and you also aren't sitting here going, well, you know, you have to do it this way or you can't do it this way. Just because I don't like guns doesn't mean I'm going to be out here and be like, yeah, the Second Amendment should be taken away. No, fuck no. I still think that anybody should own whatever the fuck they want. I still think that anybody should be able to do what the fuck they want. They should be able to go wherever the fuck they want. They should be able to do what they want. Like,
as long as there's not harm to any, you know, life, liberty, or property to anybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like, I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
I mean, even then, it's like, you know, common sense is kind of a rare thing nowadays, it seems like, dude. Okay? You know what I'm saying? That's the
Well,
only reason I say that out loud, you know?
What do you expect from a world of warning labels that stop natural selection?
Yeah, well, yeah. You know, that is a problem when it comes down to this stuff. This, you know, and that's why I was talking about kind of using their same tactics and tools against them.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, they use propaganda all the time. We're being bombarded with some kind of propaganda all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as long as we're awake, whatever. All right, being bombarded with this. We can do the exact opposite back at them. You know what I mean? Using that propaganda on our side. You know, basically, you know, spreading that, you know, that information out. That, you know, that getting that feeling of that freedom to come burrowing out of their soul, and like, okay, this is what we want, and we want to protect it with jealous fervor. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, because I mean, honestly, man, if you get down and dirty, it's like, you think about it, like in that song, for instance, like, okay, I'm working all day, overtime hours and shit pay. I mean, and that's basically, put it this way, every week that I work, or that 40 hours plus, that Monday that I work, I don't get none of that. All that money that I worked for on Monday goes straight to taxes.
Right.
Basically, so it's like I didn't, I'm doing that for that. You know what I mean? And the rest of the week I might get, you know what I mean? And that doesn't really stretch that far because I'm not really getting paid that much, but still. And it's getting worse because that's just out of my check. That's not including all the other shit that during the every day of buying this and that, whatever, taxes, this and that, gas and whatever, this and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, if you think about it, that damn dollar gets overtaxed than what it's even worth. I think personally, it's like I was talking about, like when it comes down to, like, it's not necessarily defunding the cops, but I mean, there's a lot of agencies out there like that really just need to be defunded altogether, and because, I mean, honestly, we're basically funding our own slavery. The more money that keeps on sucking out of us, the workers, the ones that actually produce something in this fucking country, I mean, that's another thing. Yeah, these fucking, welfare recipients getting fooled into working for it. They don't really produce anything in this country. What really do they produce? What do they really, actually, build in this fucking country? Not a goddamn thing.
I can show you if you want to bring it up.
What's that?
You just bring up the other you people. I can show you exactly what they create.
Well, I'm glad you're on top of it, dude. Man, I'm gonna tell you, one of these days, man, I'm gonna have to get. I got your email, man. I'm gonna have to one of these days. Just because I want to
Fox San
get you to
Antonio's
help me.
Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities, Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about troubling, irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think.
That's what they create.
Well, that's why I appreciate. Okay, that's why I can appreciate the cop watchers, the auditors out there actually getting in there and doing that stuff. But I also appreciate those investigative type journalists also that really get down and dirty and finding the real stuff and the real news, getting their camera in there and whatever. I appreciate that a lot. I think it's necessary because. Actually, I'll give you an example, man. I mean, there's a channel out there in Maui.
Hold on, Wingnut. Cleveland, I put the StreamYard link up there. Like, I don't know where you've been. I've been trying to, like, comment on your stuff as well as everybody else's, and like I said before, we get into conversation and we get into conversation. If you would like the StreamYard link, I will re-put that up.
Who is it?
If you'd like to join you. 351 Cleveland.
Oh, yeah?
He asked a while ago for the link, and I put it up there, and I acknowledged it. I don't know if he heard me. I don't know how my mic is doing. Sometimes it runs really low. So, it's 4 o'clock 5 o'clock in the morning. My wife is still asleep, so I'm trying to be quiet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't know what he's wanting to talk about. Hold on. I'll throw it in there, I guess.
Well, he had a few comments. He wanted to come up and talk with us. I put up a StreamYard link. I acknowledged it, and he didn't come up. So now he's mad because he thinks that we're ignoring him.
I just gotta, I gotta be careful. I'm not too familiar right offhand. If I can remember, 351 Cleveland modified motor. It rings a bell. But yeah, I've actually had like I said, the whole porn bomb scenario, man. That I think that's pouring in from Europe. And when I go across the pond, I get some haters over there. I got haters in every fucking country, man. Evidently.
And you put up your channel link.
Oh, did I? Oh, no shit.
That's right. I got
man.
you. I got you. See, this is why I've got the wrench. See,
I totally.
I
totally did. I wasn't even paying attention. I just put the first link that was in my thing.
Yeah. No, it's all good. I got you. The links
Right
in
on.
there. I got you. Links in there.
Yeah, it does happen. I see them not that much, but I see them more over in Europe. I don't know why. I think they use it for it's really weird, the mentality when it comes down to the porn bombing thing over there.
I'm sorry. I'm just still laughing at the comments. I'm just still laughing at the comments.
Well, okay, here, laugh a little bit longer. I'm gonna top off the last bit of my coffee real quick. Give me a second.
Okay. He left me with no way of bringing anything up. That's all good. That's all good. Bamboo. Yeah, you got to watch those porn bombs. You definitely got to watch those porn bombs. But see, that's the great thing. I gotta get with Anarchy here, and I gotta teach him about the whole video clip thing that he can use. He just takes out the volume, and then he doesn't even need an overlay. He just has a small video that plays in a loop, so that way he could still be protected. I gotta get with him on that.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about again?
I'm talking about you.
Well, I mean, if anything, I guess. Well, I mean, it would be in the background anyway. I was sitting there thinking about that thing I just what is it? The video clip. Would it act like an overlay?
Oh, well, yeah. So Vengeance was talking about porn bombs, and because you don't pay for it, you don't get the overlays. But if you take a video, right, and you mute out, you take away the sound, you can post it up as a video clip, and then on the top where it says video clips, you can click loop, and then all you got to do is click on that. Your mic doesn't mute when the video clip plays, and it'll just play in a loop, and it'll cover everything like an overlay. So, I mean, at least that way you could try to protect yourself when
I'll fool around with it.
People come up that you don't really know. You know what I'm saying? Because porn bombs can do a hell of a thing on your YouTube, especially if you don't either take it down or whatnot fast enough.
That is the problem, though. I've had to do that like once or twice, man, just because it was like a split second, but I didn't want to risk it. I just ended up deleting the video, and the damn video was awesome too, man. I had some really good conversations on that video.
Right.
And it was unfortunate, but it's just pretty interesting, though. Evidently, what I'm talking about, or what the conversation ends up being about, or it gets into, is evidently pushing buttons. You know what I'm saying? To even attract a fucking troll or a hater or a porn bomber or whatever you want to call it. Evidently.
I mean, you don't even really have to like push people to do it. I mean, there's just people out there that just like to go on to random people's stuff and do it just for the fun of it.
Well, you have a point there. I have to agree. There are people out there that do that kind of shit too. Anyway, I know, but yeah, I mean, there's people out there that what I call fishermen, and what they do is they just especially just in the chat, whatever, they'll just throw a random comment out there that's like to piss people off as bait. And when somebody responds, it's like, fish on. And And then there's like there's the spear fishermen, the ones that target particular people. You know.
Yeah, hold on a sec.
They keep your mind sharp, vengeance. Yeah, right on. I'm not ignoring you guys in chat, so don't make him fucking. Don't listen to him.
I got you, vengeance. I got you, vengeance. And I posted Carl's, but I know it's probably gone, so I'll repost Carl's again.
See, this is another thing too. I can do some of that stuff. You know, it takes me a little bit longer on certain things when it comes down posting links and stuff like that because I'm on my phone, and I'd have to go through YouTube and blah 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 and all this other shit. If I was on a laptop, it'd make it a little bit easier on a lot of aspects. I can share videos. I can do all this other stuff.
Right.
But you know, it's just you know, just like I said, it's just the expense of actually getting the damn laptop, getting the service, and all that other stuff set up. It's just an expense that I really don't have to spare at the moment.
I
So
definitely hear you on that. That's why I had to cut off my StreamYards a couple of times. I mean, to do this, and especially to like, and the guy that we're working with in Aguilar is finally getting this concept. Is it takes money to make change. It really does. I mean, you've got to pay for certain things to get your voice out there. Unfortunately, I mean.
well,
just
I mean,
like
you
with
know, just
anything.
like it's like, yeah, for instance, if you wanted to get body cam footage or any of that shit, you know, it's like you got to pay for that kind of stuff or information, you know, something like that. You know, when you get public records or whatever, you know, some of that stuff, yes, that costs money to do that. You know.
It is. So I don't know what the hell happened. See, this is what I'm talking about. I thought I subbed to Vengeance, but I didn't. For some reason, it didn't click sub. But it's subbed now. All right, we're good. We're good. I don't know, man. Technology's crazy, bro, and it just takes money. Period. Like anything in life takes money, and it just sucks, especially when, you know, you've only got so much to live off of, and everything is just getting too damn expensive. I mean,
You know, that's another thing too, man. I'm still trying to figure out how to do it in my own life, but I'm trying to find those like you know, those perpetual streams of income coming in. You know, there's this one guy. He does the voice for like audiobooks. All right, so once he does that, you know, recording, and then, you know, he gets royalties coming in every time somebody buys that audiobook or whatever, you know, that's like a continuous stream of not doing anything after you've done it, you know, that kind of stuff, money coming in.
Right.
I need stuff like that, you know, something where it's something I can do once and then just get a continuous stream of money coming in from that, you know.
Well, isn't that what YouTube is supposed to be?
Well, see, that's another thing too. I mean, you know, I feel like I'm chasing my tail around, you know.
I'm feeling you, bro. Trust me, I'm feeling you hardcore on that,
Dude.
I mean,
Okay, put it this way. I think I started this channel back in, was it 2012 or something, 2013? I can't remember. It was a while back, 8 or 9 years ago, something like that. But I've been on YouTube for a while. I mean, I had a couple other channels, and they're probably still floating around because I never closed them out. I just don't have access to them anymore. I forgot the damn password or whatever. And but I've seen the evolution. You know, it's like how, put it this way: when I signed up to begin with, the terms of services were not what they are now.
No.
All right. So technically, unless they had some kind of bullshit clause in the background that I missed, where it says they can change these things at any time, at any moment, for any reason, you know what I mean? If they had that in there, I can understand. But otherwise, I feel like, man, they're violating the agreement that I signed up for at the beginning, you know, because they've changed it so much since then, you know. Because when I was
but they
Go
have
ahead.
that right because they're the company, right? They have.
Yeah,
the
I
right.
know. I mean, I don't know where they had it in the agreement to begin with. If they given themselves the right to change this, or alter this at any time. You know what I mean? You know how they do that in some contracts.
Right.
But I don't know if they had it in there. I must have missed it. I wasn't reading it through all the way as much as I guess I am now because almost not all of them, but a majority of the videos that were deleted off of my channel, which is probably close to 1,000, but they all claim medical misinformation. You know, because I'm sitting there talking about all this information and shit like that, off and on about this stuff in the arm shit.
But again, you're dealing with a company. It's kind of like dealing with the government, but like its own little branch. I mean, they can do whatever the fuck they want to do because it's their platform. They can change it how they want to. That's one of the reasons why I'm trying to move all my stuff over onto Rumble. Rumble, you know, it's a whole lot freer to talk about anything. First of all, I can play whatever music I want. I don't have to worry about, you know, my shit getting dinged at all. You get monetized right out from the fucking get. You know, you just need to get the followers going and then the views. I mean, I'm nowhere even near started on it. I've only got 2 followers on it. I've got videos up, but I'm still trying to transfer everything over. But it's kind of hard because once you build a base on YouTube and that base is like primarily stuck on that service, because look at the reach YouTube has, just like with Amazon or anything else.
Well, I mean, when it comes down to the type of operating system, you know, you can, you know, share and download all these videos and this and that, whatever, the stuff you can do with YouTube versus some of the other platforms. The only problem is like the Rumble scenario. You're not the only one I've heard this from. But the only problem with the Rumble scenario that pops in my mind, it reminds me of a protest. All right, you see a bunch of people protesting, and then you see the cops over here, and they all line up, and they all got their battle gear and the damn shields, and they start pushing the protesters around through the town. Right. So the protesters really didn't do anything. All they did is just get like up in their face and get pushed around, basically. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm thinking in my head when I think about this Rumble scenario, because I've thought about it myself. But the thing is it's pushing all of us over into another platform, and then they'll just start changing the rules over on that one, kind of like a bait and switch. You know what I mean? That's what I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's what I think of when I think of people thinking, well, shit, we're just going to leave YouTube and we're going to go over here and everything's fucking awesome over here. And I'm just like, okay. That sounds a little too good to be true scenario.
And it kind of is a little bit too good to be true. Vengeance, you're absolutely right. Nobody reads those things except for the creators.
Right.
Anyways, it's more along the lines of you're getting pushed over onto another platform. That platform later on can turn into YouTube. And I noticed on the Rumble that it was created with YouTube, as far as, you know, they are working with YouTube and using some of their technology to run their platform. So who's to say that YouTube isn't going to take over Rumble one day and it's just going to end up just as bad?
Who owns Rumble?
Rumble, I believe, is owned by somebody in Canada. Okay. I think it's Canadian owned right now. But they are working with YouTube. I mean, there's a little label right there in Rumble in one of the settings somewhere that I was trying to upload stuff or whatever, that it is somewhat working with YouTube, right? But it's a completely different platform. But then you also have platforms like TrueTube.
Right, I've heard about that too.
Right, and that's being actually created by a 1A person, Friends in Code. And a community from the 1A that is trying to work it out there so that way it's free. Plus you have other platforms like Minds, MINDS. It's kind of like Facebook almost. It's like scroll through different posts, stuff like that. But it's like nothing like Facebook. Like you could pretty much put whatever the fuck you want up there and they're not going to take it down unless it's like, it's got to be bad, like really, really bad for them to take it the fuck down. You pretty much have freedom of speech there with no issue. So, I mean, it all depends on what platform that you're willing to get into and how many platforms that you're willing to get into. Because, like I said, the good base on YouTube, those people don't want to move over to another platform. They don't want to have to switch because most of their people that they watch are here on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to have to switch between Rumble and YouTube. Devo and Upstate, they're trying to work it to where they can do both, and like they'll start out a show here on YouTube and then they'll move over and they'll do a show on Rumble. But that's because, again, Rumble's a lot freer. You can play music on there. I mean, hell, you can pretty much play movies on there and watch movies with everybody. I mean, it's that free right now.
Yeah, at the moment.
You know,
Yeah, I know.
At the
I know.
moment.
At
But
the
when is
moment.
it going to change? When is the government going to get up Rumble's ass and then all
Well,
of a
I
sudden
mean,
the terms and conditions are going to change?
right. That's what pops in my mind is that bait and switch scenario. It's like, it's pushing everybody into this other platform and then got everybody in this other platform and then shut it down, or just implement a bunch of censorship and this and that. Depends on who owns it and who owns the server.
Well,
I mean,
Vengeance tells you who owns it. Chris
Chris,
Pavlovsky.
okay. Okay, wait a minute here. Hold on, I'll pull it up. I see it.
And not small content. Yeah, because it's working against everybody. I mean, it's making society dumber. This whole 30
TikTok
second,
shit.
This
Yeah.
whole 30-second, 15-second time span that people have, attention span that people have now, has only been made worse by Facebook, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. I mean, hell, it's hard to get. I mean, you look at a creator on YouTube. The creator makes money off of not only just you showing up and putting a thumbs up in there and then bouncing out. The YouTube creator makes money from how long people watch the video. So if like you go into somebody's thing, you only watch 3 minutes of the video, that's not making the creator any money. That's why people, the creators of YouTube, try so hard to keep the attention of any audience member. I mean, you got to keep it somewhat interesting or people bounce out. They don't.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna tell you, it's like those shorts and stuff. It reminds me of TikTok. There's a couple of guys at work, man, that I know, man. It's like every chance they get on TikTok. They'll watch hours of TikTok. You know what I mean? It's like one video after another, one little short after another, little shorts, and they will suck you in. I have to admit, the shorts here on YouTube, and they got a mixture of TikTok videos and stuff in there or whatever. I mean, they do sometimes suck me in there too. Sometimes.
Well, and then you've got creators out here that just have a loyal base. I mean, there's who is it? I think it's North Cali Cop Watch.
Right.
He
I'm
recently
subscribed.
he recently pulled in like $2,000 from YouTube from his videos.
Well, see, that's the
and
thing
stuff.
too, man. I mean, I'm not even anywhere near. I'm like 700 people unsubscribed, and I've been doing it for years. The only thing is I'm not pushing to get the subscribers and get monetized and all that stuff.
Right,
I'm not. I don't know. I mean, I don't really think I have enough to talk about unless I sat there and actually had did like a news report type show or something like that, where I come on every single day at a certain time and do something, you know what I mean? Then I could probably get the subscribers and the views and all this other shit.
No, it doesn't. No, because in my experience, you could have that one video that just knocks you out of the park. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's true.
Like, take
That could
Good
happen.
Citizen Media. A few months ago, he was around the same as me, 1600, right? Struggling. He was getting pissed. He was like, I'm just gonna quit, right? And then he took Slow Burner's video and made a short out of it, and ended up with 8,000 subscribers within a couple of days because of that short, right? But now he's like, nobody's really watching his stuff, even though he's got 8,000 subs. nobody's really watching his stuff. But then you got North Cali Cop Watch, which is pretty much the same stuff that we're putting out, and he's making profit. So I don't know. Maybe it's just you know, the different audiences, you know, because
Sorry.
different people have different people in their chats all the time, you know. So I don't know. It could just be the loyalty base as far as, you know, people watching videos or, you know, whatnot or so forth. But that's, again, where keeping the videos interesting comes into play. Because, like I said, as the years have gone on, as technology has gotten better, people's attention span. I mean, how many people can raise their hand and say that they remember 5 phone numbers?
Oh, dude, I was talking about that yesterday, actually. It's like I can only remember my own phone number nowadays.
5 phone numbers, right? I've only got 3 phone numbers memorized. No. Yeah, 3 besides mine. Okay? 3 phone numbers memorized. And that's only because the 2 phone numbers have never changed in years. and the 1 phone number is my wife's. Like, those are the only, you know, 3 numbers that I know. I used to be able to tell you a phone book. Everybody's attention span has been dropped thanks to technology, TV, streaming, instant gratification, and it's done for a purpose. It's to keep us stupid and keep us compliant. I mean, look,
it's entertained.
Look at the amount of rent that people are paying out there. I'm paying $1,500, and that's cheap out where I'm at. $1,500 a month for rent, and that's not including my $300 electric bill. That's not including my $250 gas bill, which I'm still trying to figure out, and that's not including my $400 car insurance. And that's, you know, like, that's a lot of fucking money to be putting out, and the only way to do that is to work my face off. And by the time that I'm done, I'm too tired to really try and do anything. I'm surprised I put out any content, to tell you the truth. And that's just because of nights like this where I can't sleep.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
Well,
sitting here at my computer just looking up random stuff or doing research, you know,
Yeah.
like, but I'm
Here, I got another remix I want to play. I got a remix I want to play. I don't know if you've heard this one yet. Check this out.
Right, Carl?
Guys been dressing like trolls, working all day, more than outpowered. The girls in the race, so if I hear you clear and get what you say, morals are gone and this is more than just game. It's a trans thing. That's they all come loose. For men to be girls, and girls to be dudes. We say we're just up top, and it's nice to be smooth, but it's rich. Oh, it's rich, living in the dude world. With the girls, so the trans man on the beer can sure makes us all just wanna have the corona soul. Wanna paint your nails pink, wanna wear high heels too. And they don't think we know, but we know that you're due. Cause you're taller and shit, and your masculine chin. Oh, the trans man on the beer can. With positions, we look out for minors and not let minors choose their own damn healthcare. Lord, we got folks on TV who do nothing but scream, and old Jenner says it ain't fair. Well, God, if you buy titties and you dress in a gown, the masses all not to have. Oh, you and gals, these men are turning their junk inside out, and all the damn public does is keep on calling them proud. Lord, it's a trans thing that they all come to. For men to be girls and girls to be dudes, wish they would just untuck and let life be smooth, but it's rich. Oh, was rich, living in the Jews' world. With a girl so the trans man on the beer can sure makes us all just wanna have Corona or snow. Wanna paint your nails too, wanna wear high heels too. And you don't think we know, but we know that you're dudes, cause you're taller than shit with your masculine chin. Oh, the trans man on the beer can. Guys been dressing like trolls, working all day, more than outpowered the girls in the race. Got you, man. Pat. I'm just fucking around, y'all.
I don't know if you heard that yet. But it is one of those subjects, actually, the trans man. It's one of those subjects, man. This taboo subjects. Because I'm gonna tell you, man, it's messed up. I think about the crap they're trying to push into children's heads right now. What's going to happen if that continues to happen in the next 20 years? What those kids' minds will be like.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Well, I don't know. I was. It reminds me of that ideological subversion, and it's like demoralize the nation is the first step, destabilize it is the next step, and then put the nation into crisis, and then normalize it all.
Right.
You know. The demoralization, man, that can take about 15 years. You think about if they were to start now with the demoralization, for instance, and this is what they're doing. If you think about for the next 15 years of that being propagated in the young minds, you know, getting further and further away from the creator, getting further and further away from, you know, just being decent people, you know.
Well, then we're just gonna end up being like, you know, like all hairless and looking like the same thing. Like, we're just gonna end up like wearing all the same clothes. It's gonna be like Wall-E.
Well, yeah, what, a bunch of fat people living in floating chairs, you know what I mean? Is that what you're saying? I mean, yeah, we got to save the fat people in the floaty chairs, you know? I mean, you know, I do know people that would just be fucking happy to have a floaty chair, you know what I mean?
Right. Oh, it's weird. My audio just like, I'm not hearing myself through my headphones like I normally should.
Power off.
Sorry. I hate that bitch on that damn. I wish that, you know, that drives me nuts. All right. Why can't we just have things just, you know, you flip it on and off? No, I've got to wait 5 fucking seconds and it kicks on and it tells me powering on, you know, powering off. You know, I was like, what the fuck? Whatever happened to just a plain on and off switch? Yeah. I mean, shit fucking annoys me. What you over there studying so hard?
Oh, I was putting up 1220's links so that way people could go sub to 1220.
Oh, right on. He's another CB guy. Appreciate that, you people.
No worry. That's why I got the wrench.
Yeah, I don't think I have any other mods in there at the moment. Actually, I don't think. Oh, and Vengeance, I appreciate the sub too, man.
Huh. Uh-oh. I shouldn't have done that. Okay. Wait, what? GCM got attacked last night. Are we talking about the same Good Citizen Media? I think I would have gotten a text message. Me and him are like damn tight. Unless it was somebody else. Another good citizen. There's a lot of good citizens out there.
I didn't catch anything. If he went live or not, I have no idea. I didn't. Been kind of like doing, there's a lot of people I kind of keep up with, but.
Let's try that. No, that didn't work. I don't know. My audio just went weird on me. I can hear you through my headphones, but I can't hear myself, which is kind of weird because I'm used to being able to hear myself.
Oh, really? Well, for some reason earlier, man, I was getting an echo from you. Like every time I talked, I can hear myself echo, but now I don't.
Now I don't even hear anything at all. Damn it.
Oh, really? What are you doing over there? Flipping knobs and turning switches and stuff? Keep clicking that mouse, you'll figure it out. No, he dropped out. He'll just come on back. Come on back, Woody. Come on. Good Citizen News. Oh, Good Citizen News got what was it? Attacked or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I saw anything about that or not. Because I've been trying to keep up with everybody. I'm actually, quite honestly, I'm subscribed to a lot of these cop watchers and auditors and whatever you want to call them. Because I used to do it when I was younger, and I kind of like watching the movement getting bigger. So I'm trying to keep my eyes on everybody, watching everybody, and seeing how it's progressing and evolving. Because I think it's necessary. You gotta have watchers watching the watchers, basically. And do you figure it out?
I think no, I still can't hear myself, but that's okay. I'll just have
Well,
to get used
whatever you did when it comes down to that, I don't hear an echo on my end. For a little while there, I was hearing an echo from when I would speak, coming from you. Now, when you spoke, I didn't hear the echo. It was only coming from when I spoke. Now I don't hear it.
Well, it's probably because I have my headphones turned down.
Oh yeah.
My microphone is really good. It picks up sound. Like I can hear what's going on in the house normally.
Right.
Like I said, I can hear myself through here, but for some reason now I can't. I can't hear myself, and it's just messing with me.
Like a talkback type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I see the way that I'm going through the cell phone and stuff. I don't even hear myself at all. So that's what I really don't know what I sound like, or the video, anything on the video sounds like, until I look at the replay. And then I'm like, oh crap, because I knew about that buzz, and that's evidently, now that you help me out on that, it's coming from when I put the phone on a charger, and that's what it's getting that buzz from, or that hum.
Right.
And I'm down to 24% on my phone right now, unless I put that charger back on. So I might have to cut this short in a little bit.
Short? What are you talking about short? You've been on for 3.5 hours.
Oh, is that all?
That's all.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Vengeance, yes, I did see something about Good Citizen News last night. I didn't see his exactly. I saw Galveston's point of view, and he was sitting up on a balcony, but I think that was afterwards. Oh, okay. No, I did not see that. No, I did not see that. I'm gonna have to go and check out his channel and see what that was all about. There was a mass audit put together or something.
Huh.
See, I like the mass audits. I do. I like the mass audits. It's just that Vengeance is right. It gets a little bit crazy sometimes if you have too many.
Well, I think there's probably a different way about it. In my opinion, now this is just my opinion, when there's those mass audits, if everybody would just spread out instead of being one big group all just going in there at once. Now, if they're all spread out and it's just like, I think that's just my opinion. I think it'd still get the same response, but still, it's not a big group of fucking people coming in there with cameras all at the same time.
Well, I mean, isn't that like, see, I look at that as a form of protest. Instead of you sitting outside with a sign, you're walking in with your camera.
Right.
And I understand also from the other aspect that, yeah, it does create just a direct disturbance when you've got 15 people roll up in on you. But in my opinion, that's a form of protest. You should be able to roll in there 500 deep if you want to. And, the whole point behind stuff like that is to bring awareness of the fact that, obviously when something like that happened, it was, somebody's rights were violated or something, or, and it's
well, you get what I'm saying. It's like you come in like 5 or 6, 10 deep or something like that. You elicit basically a response. These people are definitely already afraid for their life from everybody that comes around with a camera anyway. You get 15 people or 10 people in there all at once with cameras. Oh my God, they're gonna get the cavalry, man. Call the fucking cavalry, that kind of shit.
Right. No, I completely hear you on that one. I mean, it just surprises me in this day and age with cameras everywhere how squeamish people are with the camera. Like, I don't know what they think is going to happen with some of the footage. I really don't.
Well, no, you know what? Yeah, it's because, I mean, you think about it. You think I could go down here in town. Every fucking stoplight, it's got 4 cameras on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like you can't go down a block without a damn camera looking at you. But evidently that's normalized, where that's like, okay, we see that every day. It's like, we don't know exactly who's watching that camera, where that fucking footage is going, but we're okay with that.
No, wait.
And you go into a bank, you got 5 cameras looking at you in a bank or whatever.
Right. Yeah, but look at back in the day. Right, that like when you were talking with the whole VHS thing that looked like a freaking like a Mack truck on your shoulder while you were recording, people would jump in front of that, right? And we didn't have near the amount of cameras that we have in any building. Period. Look at those days with security. Like it was rare to walk into some place unless it was a bank or somewhere secure. That had cameras. Yeah. Right. Now every place has like 50 freaking cameras in every store that you go into. You walk down the street, you're dealing with cameras. I mean,
that's what I don't understand. Also, the same problem. It's like you got all these cameras staring at you all the day, but you don't really you don't really have the same reaction that you do with some guy standing with a cell phone in his hand. You know what I mean? I don't understand. I mean, if I was going into a public building or something like that, and it's like, well, I didn't give you permission to sit there and record me. What if I went in there were like that? And I was like, well, I don't want these cameras looking at me. I don't want these cameras recording me. I don't know who's watching this camera. I don't know where that footage is going. You know what I mean?
Vengeance. Make it, we'll just turn it all into porn. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's what the one lady thought here in Pueblo County. I mean, if you want to bring this up, it's a perfect example. I'm 42. 42. Can you bring it up, Anarchy?
Huh?
Can you bring it up?
What's that?
The thing in the basement.
Oh,
You just been
shit.
silent on me.
It's
You
not
just
even
been-
giving me a notification. I didn't know you had anything back there. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, no, it's all good. Camera on the wall. Another camera on the
Hi,
wall.
how are you? Good. I'm just taking a little tour around. Saw the building. I thought it was a nice building. Figured I'd take a look at the lobby. Okay. Cool.
I guess. I'm not sure.
You're not sure? No, I just moved here, so getting to know the area, getting to know the different government buildings and all.
So where did you move here from?
Phoenix.
Oh, so what brought you here?
The weather.
Really?
Yeah, can't beat this weather. I mean, it beat 120 degrees for 3 months straight. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the only difference with like this building and say where our other building is we're law enforcement.
Right.
So it tends to get a little sticky when people want to come in and take pictures and that type of thing.
Oh, it's still a public lobby, is it not?
Well, true, but I mean, if I wasn't comfortable, then or if somebody on the cameras is watching, we have cameras obviously all over.
Right.
Then it would be that type of thing.
Oh. See?
Yeah. Camera right there next to that door, right eye level.
Well, and she
And those
even
have the
acknowledged
swivel inside. They have the swivel camera inside of those globes too.
Well, and she even acknowledged it. I mean, she goes, oh yeah, I know there's cameras on the wall, but I might not want to be on your camera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's the difference between my camera and that camera? Like, it is the difference the fact that camera won't upload what you do up onto YouTube? Is that the only difference?
Yeah. It's not being uploaded onto social network though,
Right, but
that's the thing is exposing that type of attitude toward the public too. When it comes down to it, if people would just if people would want to believe in this piece of paper called the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and all that other stuff, we need to live by that. Honestly, if that's what we're going to believe in, you know what I mean?
Well, and that's completely up to her, right? Like, did I make her act in any way, shape, or form?
Well, it wouldn't be a matter. It doesn't matter, honestly, in my opinion. Like for instance, if you went in like, dude, dressed up as a fucking robot, your reaction, it's all on you. All right, how you react to how it is all on you. I didn't make you do anything. All I did was come in there looking like a robot. All right, but how you act is like, for instance, if you got offended. Well, technically, that's your problem if you got offended, because I mean, honestly, you probably need some professional help if me looking like a robot offends you, all right, or if this camera in my hand offends you, or you know what I mean. It's not violating your privacy because technically in public you have no privacy. Now, it'd be a different story if I was like, you were in your house and I walked inside your house and started filming you. That's a different story.
Right, but she didn't. She thought that because she's their law enforcement, that it was like a taboo thing for me to do, to come in with a camera and
Right.
not want to be on camera. But I mean, that's how she acted. I didn't go in there dressed like a robot. I went in there in actually pretty nice clothes, and I walked in with my camera and, you know, told her what I was gonna do. And she still gave me that and then
Right.
made me. I mean, I didn't play it all the way through, but made me define what the difference was between a public service and a business. Because I asked her, I was like, "Is there, is this a business or is this a public service?"
Well, see, that's another thing too. Even for a lot of public officials, no matter secretary on or whatever, a lot of them don't even know the difference between public and private anyway.
But what's the difference? What's the difference between a business and a public service? And
Are you
me
talking about
coming in, and me coming in with a camera? So
Are you talking about
me
like a
coming-
private business or a public, private business and a public entity, like
right,
a
right. So what's the difference? What's the difference? If I walked into a building, right, and the
Mhm.
building is a business, can the business tell me to leave?
Well, okay, the bills. Okay, the right to refuse service. That's the only thing that the government doesn't really have the right to do.
Right. So if I walked into a private business with my camera and walked into like one of their offices to talk to somebody, more than likely I'd get kicked out, refuse service, and then trespassed. Whereas if I do that going into a police station and I stay in public areas, would that happen to me?
It's not supposed to. It's not
No.
supposed to. You're supposed to be just left alone, like.
Right.
But that's the
So-
thing is like knowing actually what the Constitution says, knowing what the actual law says. Unfortunately, a lot of cops out there don't really even know the law. They get like the Cliff Notes version of it, and that's about as far as they go.
Right.
You know?
And that's the situation that we have right there. She wasn't sure whether or not I could record in that lobby. And I went through the whole step just like I did with you. And the response that I got was, "Well, I'm going to let you do your filming, but if I feel that it's getting too intrusive, I'm going to call a detective or a deputy."
Mhm.
That's the response I got. So she somewhat kindly let me film the lobby, but she still wasn't sure on whether I could or not.
Well,
This
cop
the
logic is just like
mindset
if
that
you
we
if you
have
got nothing to
working in
hide,
law
why you?
enforcement. Right, but this is the mindset that we have in law enforcement. Did I make
Right.
her act that way? Did I make her say any of that stuff? No, she could have been professional. She could have known the law, considering as how she's working for law enforcement. And she could have just said, "Hey, how you doing?" Had that nice little conversation with me. Let me do my filming without giving me permission. The whole point is we shouldn't need permission to do that type of stuff.
Right. Free men do not need permission.
Right. So, I mean, if I actually had a good enough reason to stay there, like I was getting records or something, or like they had some sort of decorations in the lobby, like, plaques or something like that I could have taken pictures of, I probably would have stayed a little bit longer. Like literally, I was in, we had that little conversation, I walked to the back of the room, and then I walked right back out. It was less than a minute, maybe a couple minutes. But still, when I walked out of there, she still wasn't sure if I was able to do it or not. Like, she was unsure. I took a lap around the police department. I went into their parking lot, did the whole little thing. Nobody came out and talked to me. So obviously somebody there knows that I'm allowed to do that out in public areas, view public things, and go into public lobbies, right? I would hope that person was educated. You know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe next time that I go in there for a records request, maybe I'll get a different interaction. Maybe I'll get a more professional interaction, which is what this whole point is about. And when you don't get those interactions and you just constantly get berated like we do with Aguilar, that's when we call for a mass audit. Granted, it causes a little tension, but
Well, I mean, it was like they were mentioned earlier in the chat. Now Maui needs some fucking auditors out there looking at some of that shit because they're blocking any kind of news, any kind of something to getting in there. They're even blocking even drones flying over that area that got burned.
Well, that's where the public comes into play. If
Well,
more
that's
of the
what I'm saying.
public
It's like,
was
yeah.
willing to stand up, then it goes back to the whole, there's
We
more
the people.
people out there that would rather somebody else fight the battle, and as long as they're in their safe little bubble and nothing happens to them, everything's all good. Fuck what happens outside that door, because it don't affect me. That's them. That sucks to be them. But see, that's the mentality that needs to change. We need more people out there. Like, another example as far as Aguilar. I don't live there. Never lived there. I don't have any family there. I have no stake in covering Aguilar at all. None. I don't benefit monetarily. I don't benefit from making friends from it. I don't benefit in any way, shape, or form except knowing myself that I am making a change for the citizens of Aguilar with what I'm doing there, with what Good Citizen is doing there. And now we've got pretty much half the town on our side, and we are creating change. It doesn't take one of us, it takes all of us.
Yeah,
You know what
no,
I'm
I
saying?
agree.
Like, I don't.
And Latina was sitting there. I think I probably put it on my community tab, Hawaiian real estate, some of his videos. I found some other stuff too. I actually found another, actually two other people through YouTube that are out there that are actually trying to get some videos out of some of the damage and all that other stuff that they're trying to keep people out. So there are a couple of people out there, but I don't know why they're trying to keep it so secret. I mean, what are they trying to hide? That kind of stuff.
Look at what's going on. So you had the government that had a huge fail on trying to evacuate their citizens, which caused.
Dude, they did not. Dude, they did not try to evacuate. They were actually had cops blocking the road, keeping people in.
That's what I said. I said they had a massive fail. Okay.
Okay.
They had a massive fail, and then on top of this massive fail, now they're trying to go after the electric company and blame the electric company for the fire and try to throw off blame onto the electric company.
Well, I also heard they were going to try and blame
company. It's blaming somebody else. Like they're.
Well, I heard they were also going to try and push, blame the fucking fire department too. But the only problem is like even the fire department couldn't do anything because the damn water was shut off.
Right.
So it's like play the blame game. But I got 10% on my fucking phone, man. When it comes to that battery life, I've got to go soon. But yeah, I mean, seriously. And there's like, there's like up to like 7 times the amount of children that are missing compared to what the number that they have listed just recently or whatever. They're trying to keep the numbers low to the public, but there's more missing and more dead or whatever. Because I heard through the grapevine rumors. Now this is rumors of a mass grave, but I can't confirm or deny any of it. So it's just rumors. Right. But anyway, hey, you people, man, I'm definitely, man. I want to get back up with you again. So don't be a stranger. I'll try and keep up with you over there and stuff like that. Where you're over in your channel and you and Good Citizen and all.
Well, I mean, it doesn't help that you're a night owl and I had to switch to day hours.
Well, hey, I've been working that damn day job too, man. So during the day, 3:00 in the afternoon, I might get home, and, take a shower, get something to eat, and then I'm dozing off in the fucking chair. The only time I really even have a time to actually do a lot of watching and keeping up with stuff is on the weekends anyway.
Right. Well, and I've been up all night. I'm probably going to jump off here with you, go grab a shower really quick. I'm pretty sure the wife and everybody's up by now. It's 6:00. And then I got a show to do with Good Citizen because we promised everybody a Sunday morning show. So.
Well, hey, good morning to you, and say I might wander over there. when you guys go live or something. I gotta stay. I'm gonna stay up anyway because my mom's coming over today, so I was like, I might as well just stay up. She'll be over here in a few hours anyway.
Right.
So, well, anyway, man, you people, man, I really appreciate you coming over and hanging out, and everybody in chat. Vengeance is Mine, Kay Stevens with 1220, Latina,
351.
Yeah, 351. Homeopathy, Homestead, and oh man, I don't know. I have to check that channel out. I think I might be subscribed. If I get a notification from anybody that does sub to me, I usually sub right back. And there's Good Citizen Media YouTube channel. So, listen.
I gotta promote my boy. Man. Like I said, me and him are tight. That's my boy right there.
Right on. Yeah. But yeah, you guys. Appreciate all you guys coming in and sticking around for as long as you did. But like I said, my battery's about to go dying. I gotta put it back on charge, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.
I subbed to you 1220. Later, brother. Later, Anarchy. Have a great night, everybody.